one of his movies, but I know his reputation precedes him, and that he's, I mean, he has like I wouldn't even say like, well, I don't know. I mean, yes, his movies are rough. I think it's like, I think he leans into it. I think it's like I don't think he's like a dumbass. I think Neil Breen is like at least somewhat self-aware. I think he's at least somewhat self-aware. So it's like, I think there's enough going on where he knows that he has that reputation. He's like, you know what? This is my niche. Might as well enjoy it. Might as well embrace it. Yeah, watching one of those movies by yourself, at least based on the clips I've seen. Yeah, probably wouldn't be very fun to watch by yourself. Or watching The Room. Watching The Room by yourself. That probably wouldn't be any fun. I've only seen The Room once, and it was in a sold-out theater, crammed to the gills with people who'd seen the movie dozens of times, clearly. I mean, not everybody, because it was my first time seeing it, but like for a lot of the people there, they'd clearly seen it like dozens of times. And Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero emceed that showing. Like they were doing like a tour around the country, and they emceed the showing. They did like a Q&A beforehand. They had like a fun contest. It was pretty cool. And yeah, that's the ideal way to see it. Because yeah, seeing it by yourself, or seeing it with friends is one thing, but like everybody in the theater knew the call-outs. Everybody knew the moments. A bunch of people brought spoons, plastic spoons, obviously. It was really the way to experience that movie. And now I refuse to watch the movie in any other context. It's really the only way to do it. It's the good stuff. Big brain people. It's the big brain stuff. There you go. There you go. Only the biggest brain when it comes to Neil Breen. Watching with someone from Vegas. Vegas specifically? Interesting. I'm not sure why Las Vegas would have a specific connotation. Unless maybe that's where he's from. Or like if people there have a particular reverence for him. I don't know. The problem is I'm just not a huge movie guy. I enjoy movies. I just never make time for them. So as a result, like I'm always that one asshole who is like the homies that are talking about movies, and I'm, staying quiet just because I have nothing to contribute. And then someone asks, "Well, Alex, what do you think?" And it's like, "Oh, sorry, I've never seen that one." And then everyone dogs on me. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm not avoiding watching them. I just never get around to it. So when it comes to like watching, bad movies, it's like, bro, I have a hard time making time to watch good movies. So as a result, I'm what's the word? Uncultured swine. His movies take place there. Because he lives there. Well, there you go. So they recognize all the locales, probably. Go ahead and continue this cool little gamey game. This cool spooky game. We're all set. Let's take a drink of my water. We'll begin, my friends. Haven't played this in a couple days. We're getting back into Tormented Souls. Last time we had acquired a whole bunch of stuff. Got the staple gun, got the empty mold, got the key dial. So we have 1/3 of the stuff to enter into the final, well, maybe not final, but the main basement area. We found the goddamn data disk. More on that in a second. We solved a number of things, but I was stuck on a couple of puzzles. There's still one thing I'm a little bit unsure about. However, I will say there was one nifty thing that we got last time, and it's this. It's staring me right in the face. No, it's not her face, but it's the lapel flashlight, the little flashlight that, if you look closely, actually floats. It's kind of hard to see, but it's like it kind of like floats on our jacket. It's not like properly attached. Actually, it looks better, or it's more obvious rather. There you go. It's more obvious when you have the flashlight or the lighter equipped. It's probably even more obvious if you have nothing equipped. Yeah, if you have nothing equipped, it's even more obvious that it just kind of floats up. Anyway, so last time we got this thing, and it allowed us, well, for one thing, it's a convenience. It's convenience. I no longer have to sacrifice visibility for combat ability, which is nice. And it also means less inventory shenanigans, but also in cases where you have one of these guys and it's dark, when it's light out, no problem. You just equip your melee weapon, you wail on them until they're dead, or until they're knocked out. At least you're good to go. However, there was one major instance where we had one of these guys in front of a darkened area, and we took care of that last time. We took care of that last time. It led us through the laundry chute area. In fact, actually, no. Well, there's just another one of them right there. But yeah, this area's always been illuminated, or illuminatable at least. But yeah, we had the one area that I knew about that was in, I think it was in the first floor, I think, because I think we're on the second floor right now. Where one of those scythe guys, those scythe hand guys, was in front of like a darkened area. And you wouldn't have been able to deal with them in the dark because you can only hold either a light source or a melee weapon, or a weapon at all, not both. Whereas now we have the ability for both, and we dealt with that situation in the laundry area. We dealt with it. It's all Gucci and the Coochie. And that we like took that as far as we could, and we got the data disk out of it. However, I realized there's actually another area I neglected to consider. I didn't realize until after I entered the stream last night. It's like, oh, fuck, there was an area in the other nightmare zone. So it was in the ICU area. So that would be... yeah, that's on the other... Whoops, that's the other side of the second floor. So in the ICU area is the nightmare zone mirror. The other nightmare zone mirror. There's two of them we found so far. So if we go down this way... And... oh, wait, no. It was the puzzle door, I think, right? Maybe? Yes, it was this one, yeah. There was the puzzle door that goes through here. We go into the intensive care unit. There was something I couldn't figure... I was previously unable to deal with because we didn't have a light source and weapon that we could equip. Now we have those things, and I'd forgotten about this. This is the wrong one. I'd forgotten about this because I was so excited when we got this light source, the one that attaches to our jacket. I was like, all right, let's do this main thing, and I'd forgotten there was this secondary area. The second area, if you will. By the way, there's the father. Still doing all right. Second floor of the East Wing, that's right. But again, he actually says, if you listen closely...
Where can I find Dr. Williams' office?
Listen closely to what he says.
You can find Dr. Williams' office on the second floor of the West Wing.
It says West Wing, but the captions say East Wing.
Thank you, Father.
The East Wing is actually correct. It is on the second floor of the East Wing. It's a weird switch up with the subtitles. So if we go into the Nightmare Zone, there's actually one of those scythe guys, or those darkened scythe guys, that I'd completely forgotten about. It's like I just filed it away in my brain, and I never took it back out, never considered it, but I'm considering it now. What I think I need to do when we play the sequel and when I play other games like this... oh, right, that one's left. Is I need to take more notes. I mean, I've been doing the stuff where I take notes about, like, oh, hey, here's a date that's important, and I don't know what goes to. Here's a code we saw on the wall. Here's this, here's that. Like, here's like, things that involve puzzles. I think what I need to do when I play games like this more often is take notes, not just about, like, here's a code fragment, here's a puzzle thing, but things like... oh, hey, in this room, because, like, usually the rooms are labeled, especially as once you have the map, obviously. I can look at a thing and say, oh, hey, in the intensive care corridor, there's a scythe guy. I can't deal with him until I have a light source that I can hold while also holding a weapon. Because I'd forgotten about it. So I need to be more astute when it comes to stuff like that, as being, like, things that are easy to forget and easy to overlook, like the freezer and the car battery. Those things that, especially if you go a couple months without playing the game, it's easy to forget. Of course, remember the weird noises these guys make as you bludgeon them to death. There he goes. And it's like, well, no, maybe he's not dead because he's twitching afterwards, right? But also... they got, like, the bags attached to them, and there's, like, a little oxygen machine and whatnot, so maybe it's just the muscle spasms of a limp corpse that's still being pumped with something. So, okay, so we got one of these guys. Oh my fucking god. Oh, this is a very claustrophobic area. I was gonna try to do the thing where I'd, like, you know, use the nail gun and be a proper good boy, but instead... fucking blast his ass with the shotgun and call it a day. Trying to get back up? Not today, son. He dead? He's dead. Alright, so I've not been in here before. I didn't explore this. Like, off-stream, that is. I thought of it off-stream, but I didn't pursue it. Because I was like, I'll remember where it is. I remember it was going to be in this little area. It's like, we'll deal with it when the time comes. So I'm dealing with it now, but I'd forgotten about this little area. I was so hyper-focused on like the main area that led to like the laundry zone, which was necessary. We needed that because I think the data disk. Well, no, I don't think. I know the data disk is required. So I'm glad we knocked it out, but by focusing on that, I forgot about this little sequence. Also, I can't help but notice the torture devices. At least I think that's what this is. Granted, this is the nightmare zone, or, well, I don't know what the game calls it, but I mean, it sure seems like a nightmare to me. Yeah, lots of honest-to-goodness torture devices. And now, if I had to guess... Okay, so that opens this door. Okay, so then if we go back, I think that's pretty much it for this area right now. But now, if we exit out and go back to the normal dimension, that door will now be open. This door unlocks, which means it wraps back around to the bathroom. There's the mirror. So now this other door should be open. Well, this door I think was always open. But now the cell door is open, which means we can go in and acquire... There was something, right? Well, there was like a cool weapon oh yeah, this is it right here. So it is a homemade stabbing... I guess it's a melee weapon, I guess. Stabbing weapon capable of... Alright, and it takes ammo. Because we've started to collect those. We've started to collect the electric charge thingies. These electric charge, lance charges. With an electric lance. So we have this cool melee weapon now. It's pretty badass. I mean, to be honest, I don't know if it's really necessary. We have a lot of shotgun ammo, and that does great for close-range shenanigans. Crowbar works great for situations that require melee. But, you know, there probably will come a point where we'll have some pretty scary things to deal with. Blood donation marathon. Oh, boy. Oh, can't open it? Okay. Well, I guess that's as far as we go then. Alright, so that ends that particular thread. The other thing, though, that I will confess to you. So we raided somebody. I think it was Tuesday night. Tuesday night we raided somebody who was playing this game. I checked the Tormented Souls directory. And I said, yeah, let's raid this guy. It was, I remember following him afterwards. It was like Dead Dude Games, I think, or Dead Dude something. I can't remember the exact screen name. But I remember he was about as far as I was. He had a couple things in his inventory that I didn't have. Maybe one or two things in his inventory I didn't have. But had one thing in his inventory had one thing that he was lacking in his inventory, and that was the data disk. He didn't have the data disk in his inventory at this point, but he had the flashlight, he had these two things, he had a couple odds and ends, he had one thing I didn't have. But I remember he didn't have the data disk, and he didn't realize that the laundry area was open. So we actually had the opposite problems. I had forgotten about the zone we just came from. He had forgotten about the laundry areas. So, and I was just kind of lurking in his stream. I'll go ahead and head back downstairs. For reasons that'll become apparent very soon here. Actually, I say that. Hold on. Yes, that's correct. We're going downstairs. So yeah, we were kind of in an opposite situation. I was just lurking in his stream after I raided him. And he went ahead and went through the laundry zone and... Oh, did I press the button? I pressed the wrong button. 4-1. So he goes to the laundry zone, gets the data disk, and he's all excited. And the first thing he does is what I did. He looked at the data disk, and he's kind of looking at the names. He goes, okay, and was kind of clicking around. He did not notice the encryption, or not encryption, but the reading lock, or the write protection, I guess. He didn't notice the write protection switch, so he got stuck on that like I did. But he was kind of doing what I did. He was looking at the names. He was like, I wonder if these names are familiar. Noticed that this was clickable. Okay, that's kind of neat. And kind of doing his thing. And then he did this. He was like, oh, okay. Oh, hey, would you look at that? Would you look at that? I never noticed that before. I never noticed this before. 3 + 6 - 9. I did not notice that before. So, so confession time, right? I didn't look this up. I did not look up the solution, but I was lurking in the guy we raided the other night. I was lurking in his stream, and he just happened upon that. And I remember, and for anybody that was there with the raid and stuck around, you might have seen me in the chat say something effective. Oh, son of a bitch! I can't believe I missed that. Like, what the fuck? That's so dumb. I can't believe I missed that. That's a lie. I can believe it because I'm a dumbass, but it's like, bro, what the hell? So, I'm embarrassed. I didn't catch that. You know, it's one of those, like, I can't unsee it. Obviously, you know, I can't unsee it on his stream. But I tell myself I would have stumbled upon it eventually. I tell myself eventually I would have stumbled upon it. Sooner probably than later. Knowing me, what I would have done is we tried one name because we saw that there were 6 armored fellows, suits of armor, in the hallway leading to the area where you use the data disk. I was thinking maybe that was a sign. Knowing me, I would have spent a lot of time on this screen or on this disc looking at the names and trying to think of things, and I probably would have started fidgeting. Knowing me, like, I would have started, like, fucking with things. I could see me, like doing what he did, just clicking the thing and just being like, oh, what the hell? Like, and it's entirely possible. Maybe it was even on screen. I just wasn't paying attention, or maybe I didn't notice it. But I'm noticing it now. So, let's go back down this way. We're going back to the warehouse. Specifically, to the terminal where you can write things. So, once I saw that, I was like, alright, I don't want to see anything else. So, I heard him say out loud what he was going to do, and I suspect this is probably the solution, because this is what I was thinking too. So, it was 3 plus 6 minus 9. So, what does that equal? Well, that equals 0. There's no 0th name on the list. You know, there's 1 through 10. There's no 0 entry. So that tells. So when I see something like that, I think I take out I think about other kinds of adding and subtracting. If you have done, you know, software stuff, you probably know that there's like string and character manipulation, where you can, you know, add and subtract, you know, that kind of thing. So that's the next thing that comes to mind, and I suspect that's probably what we need to do here. So 3 plus 6 minus 9. So I'm gonna write a couple things out. In fact, I might even share my screen so you can see exactly what I'm writing out. I go to my notes. My notes here. All right, so it's number 3. 3 minus 6 plus 9. So Lomar plus Tisha, then minus Lois. Okay. So here's kind of how that shakes out. So here, I'll share my screen. You can see what I see. So here's kind of what I'm thinking. So yeah, in fact, let's start over. So I had already kind of started to type it out, but I feel like I don't want to jump the gun too much. So 3 plus 6 minus 9. In fact, if I kind of do one of these, I'm sorry, trying to like make it so that, well, let's do this. Yeah. So 3 is Lomar minus, I'm sorry, was it plus 6 or minus 6? Shit. Let me double check. Plus 6 minus 9. Okay. So Lomar plus Tisha minus Lois. That's what I've got written down here. So, and then you can see the other notes I've made here from previous puzzles. So that means we get Lomar Tisha minus Lois. Whoops. So there's a couple ways that could be done, but the obvious thing to me is to just taking off the letters that match here. So we end up with Mar, and the T remains. So, but the I from, actually, the I and the S go away. So we end up with Martha. Martha, which is a name that's not on this list. The name that's not on this list. You get Milka, which is almost like Martha. Hold on, wait for it to capture. There we go. You get Milka, which is almost like a Martha, and I don't think we have heard of a Martha yet. So the significance of the name Martha is not abundantly clear. But that's probably it. That's probably it. So we're going to go ahead and load this bad boy up. And that's the name we're going to punch in. I don't have any confirmation that this is it. But if I had to guess, that's probably it. Because when I think of adding... Marth from Fire Emblem. When I think of adding and subtracting words or names, yeah, like string concatenation, that part's easy. The subtraction part's a little bit weirder. But given that it kind of ended up with such a convenient looking keyword, I mean, it'd be one thing if it was gobbledygook. If it was like a bunch of mishmash of letters or numbers, you know, that's one thing. But I bet this will be it. Let's take this and see what the happening haps are. Yo, what's up, Farside? Coding in software? Yeah, well, I mean, it's more just string manipulation. String manipulation, string concatenation, and what's the fun? There's probably a word for like subtraction. Concatenate is when you like just or like appending. I guess appending is probably the better term. Just attach the two strings together. There's probably a word for like subtracting from a string, like a convenient, sexy word that makes me sound big, smart, big penis. I says I like to manipulate my strings sometimes. Sometimes multiple times a week. If I'm on my best behavior, my wife will manipulate my strings for me. Good to see you, Farside. Now I'm pretty confident that this will get us to this puzzle solution. I'm feeling pretty confident about this. The thing I'm still not sure about is the goddamn cash register puzzle. That part I'm still a little on that one. A few times a week? What about a few times a day? Listen, I ain't the young stud I once was, Meerkat. I wasn't, I'm not the virile young stud I was back in my heyday. Let's see. So we're going, that's the save room. You guys are still wobbly. They're still wobbly. They never commit. They get so nervous. They get so nervous. Like, oh, it's so nervous. It's a girl. She's wearing a little dress. Oh, I'm so nervous. But they can never commit. Can never commit to the bit. Bunch of cowards. So let's see. I want to say it's on this floor. Am I mistaken? Oh, here we go. So this one right here. So it says no disc. So here we go. Is this going to work? Is this going to work? Like I said, that name is awfully convenient. Reading. Granted. Granted, it works, goddamn. Holy shnikes, like a goddamn casserole, says Farside. Looking at the cupcakes they can't touch. Oh, with the like the 1,000-yard stare. I love that. I love that image. And the gif of like the sullen-faced dog just looking on sadly and desperately. Got fellows. Can't say I'm surprised. Oh, shit. There we go. I was gonna say, there is a dash button. I never used it. I never used the dash button, but we fucking dashed that shit. Like how we bonk him and he starts to get up. Too late for him. Too late for his shit. Let it be known, we are acquiring nails at a slower rate than we're using them. You know, for a while there, we weren't finding a lot of bad guys, so we killed pretty much all the bad guys. But now more have started to spawn, and we're starting to burn through our reserves a little bit. A worn vinyl record. What's it say? Tesla disc? Tesla disc, maybe? TSLA. Recording blank. New York. Can hear me anywhere you go. No, not New York. Now you can hear me anywhere you go. Now you can hear me anywhere you go. Oh, no, okay, and I added it to my inventory. Wasn't sure if it was like a thing we're just gonna look at. Yeah, no interactions here. Alright, alright, alright. The screen shaking? Is it shaking for you guys? Why is the screen shaking? Even more pronounced now. Got the Monka shake. Vibrating ominously. I think it's like just camera wonkiness. I don't think it's like an earthquake. Yeah, there's no monsters approaching. Yeah, I'm over here like, oh, Jesus. Well, I say that. Then you look at this fucking thing. See that painting right there? Good lord. We saw that painting once before in the Nightmare Zone, and here it is here. Yeah, it was in the... Oh, no, it was not in the Nightmare Zone. It was in, like, the morgue areas, I think. Anyway, just fucking... Ugh, I don't like it. I don't like it. Don't like it one bit. And let it be known, this is the... This is not the office yet, but it should lead to the office. This is... the bedroom, which leads into the penthouse and connects to the children's room. I can't imagine what fresh fuck awaits us in the children's room. Or healing. We did get another save point, which is nice. The, like, stereotypical doctor's bag. And I think you'd see in, like, old-timey TV shows and movies and cartoons. The fact that the camera kind of shifts means there's something here. Oh, okay, of course, this is where Maria slept, obviously. This is where she first learned she's expecting, probably with the twins. We're hopeful, but measured and demure. So demure, so mindful. Hired a handmaiden. She's never left my side. Her name was Anna. Almost my age. So obviously one of the girls' name is Anna. I wonder if this maybe influenced her, her naming conventions, perhaps. Mayhaps. Oh. And that is Jimmy. What's up, Jimmy? Thank you for that raid, my man. We're playing some spooky games tonight. How you doing, bud? Jimmy the Rabbit, as I live and breathe. Good to see you. Also, good to see you, having not seen you online in a while. Although maybe that's on me. Maybe I just haven't been as... I feel like I probably haven't been around like in the evenings as I would otherwise like to be. Usually if I'm watching streams, it's maybe like during the day while I'm like doing work stuff and I've got something on in the background. And Jimmy's a fellow night owl. He's a fellow evening guy. So I probably haven't seen you online in a while. Oh, whoops. That's the wrong button. Whoops, sorry about that. Not raid. Whoops, my bad. I got excited. I got so excited when Jimmy raided me. I wanted to return the favor. Immediately. No, not. Sorry. That's the wrong command. Now, I want to look at the shout-out. Who's doing some Secret World Legends, of course. Of course, buddy. I'm going to go out on a limb and ask if you're doing a challenge run, because Jimmy is one of our Secret World Legends homies who has played the game to hell and back and has played it so well and so efficiently that he has to put artificial challenges to, like, you know, speed bumps, basically, to make it so that it's not too easy for him. And also, I know that Extra Life, of course, is coming up. The Extra Life Game Day is coming up. And I know sometimes you do the marathon streams where you do, like, the goofy extra, like, chaos mode of that game, which is always a lot of fun. So thank you, Jimmy. And as always, if you have any clips you want to share from a recent stream, from a not-so-recent stream, anything of yours you'd like to share, does not have to be from tonight. But yeah, if there's anything you want to share with us, I would love to see it because I really appreciate you rating me. And it's good to see you. It's good to see you a whole bunch. Meerkat says, it's the medical bag where I hide my drugs. They'll never find the drugs. We're playing Tormented Souls, really cool survival horror, spooky time game. It is very good, and it's very Resident Evil and Silent Hill inspired. And I'm talking like old school Resident Evil, old school Silent Hill. It's quite good. It's quite good, and we're learning some lore. We're learning some lore about some of the characters that were, well, we don't really meet a lot of these characters, but we learn about them after the fact, kind of, sort of. There are these two twin girls that are missing that we're kind of, it's implied we're trying to help find them, kind of like unofficially, but we're trying to find these twins, or at least what happened to them, try to like retrace their steps. And we found a diary note about from the mother when she first learned that she was with child, or really with children, with the twins, as we say. And learning about how she really bonded with her maid named Anna, that her husband assigned to her, and how much they bonded, which is so nice. But but I can't help but notice, I'm pretty sure one of the names, the names of one of her daughters is Anna. I think it's Anna and Emma. And note that it did not complete the diary, I don't think at least. Yeah, we've read these other ones. Yeah, we've read these other ones. There's the one about the dresses, of course. Yeah. Anna is an extrovert, right. And Emma is the quiet one. Yeah, so sure enough. So I wonder if maybe that influenced her nomenclature decisions. But no, we got the fixed camera angle. Well, sometimes it's fixed. Other times the camera moves with you. But yeah, we get fixed camera angles a lot. Old school Silent Hill, old school survival horror kind of video game. It's very good so far. And we're exploring an area for the first time. This takes place... Oh, cutscene, by the way. Oh my. There is some violent stuff sometimes. New Manster. Squishy Michelin Man looking motherfucker who fucking launches himself at us. Goddamn. It's a ghosty of some kind? Got very loud. Holy shnikes. Alright, so we have a couple weapons. Got the shotgun. Blast their ass. And then, once they're knocked down... Oh, they're starting to get back up? Okay, knock them back down. They're slowly float up. I like how the animation's a little bit goobered. It's like it's floating up, sort of. And then it, like, stands back up to take the hit animation. Also, I can't really see what I'm doing. I think I'm hitting them. Are you still alive? Oh, I, like, knocked them... Oh, God. That's not good. Get out of here. I, like, knocked them through the wall. Right here. Should I try my cool new... Oh, I'm in danger. I'll use the medical kit. And then... Yeah, do I use my cool new weapon? I don't know if this really calls for it. This really calls for it. I mean... We've already damaged her a lot, probably. Use a shotty again. Reload. Bam! Knock her ass down. The fact that there's blood means I think I'm hurting them. The animation's, like, very weird. It's also very loud. Yeah, like, they wouldn't be making noises like that if I wasn't doing damage, presumably. If it manages to get back up and it's on its feet again, I will use the electric lance. I'll use the cool new gun. Oh, it's biting me. All right, time to use the cool new gun, and by gun I mean melee weapon. Entirely possible it like needs. It's like only susceptible to this thing. I dare you. Blam! So it's still not dead. So it's just very tanky. Is the lesson I'm taking away here. Knock his ass down again. We do this all day, motherfucker. By the way, I see Caffeine Fiend. What's up, Caffeine Fiend? Caffeine Fiend's got a thingy for us. Exciting. So yes, we'll address that redemption momentarily once I'm done with this something resembling a boss battle. I'm starting to wonder, is there something else that needs to be done? It's entirely possible the answer is it can't be killed. It's entirely possible it can't be killed, so maybe I need to just, like, run away and, like, try to deal with things. Like, try to, like, get stuff. What if I just leave? Oh, you can't leave. Or maybe you can, I just pressed the wrong thing, but... Gruesome experiments. No kidding. Ah, shit, I was hoping to cart her. Or kite her, rather. Kite her around. Get out of here. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if it can't be killed. We've never seen an unkillable enemy in this game. Little fucking child demons there. Anything else? Was there anything else to like interact with? Nothing to pick up? was gonna say, if I can knock her down, they give me a little bit more room to work with here. The animations are just a little bit fucked. Just a little bit. The door? Okay, so I can leave there. Okay. Into the children's room. Well, the children's room doesn't sound a lot better. As far as, like, fuckery. Evil, demonic fuckery that could get our ass. At least it's relative. At least it's quiet, and I kind of mean that literally. Jimmy says, movement abilities only. Interesting. And also, different language. Right, yeah, a language you can't read. Right, yeah. The speed runs. That's right, 23. Jesus, 23 hours. That's amazing. That's amazing. Farsight says the volume hike. Yeah, well, and you probably remember this, Farsight. You'll remember. We have it set as low as possible. I guess I could lower the sound effects a little bit more. But yeah, music is... It can't go any lower. It's pretty wild. It's pretty nutty. Pretty nutty. Yeah, I still can't believe our first unkillable enemy. I'm glad I didn't waste too much ammo trying to figure that out. We did waste some healing supplies, unfortunately, but considered an investment. We invested in healing supplies. It's totally different. Good old trusty 12 gauge. There you go. There you go. So, once again, thank you to Jimmy for that raid. Thank you very much, my friend. And a few things. So first and foremost, Jimmy's got the clip for us. Like I said, whenever someone raids, I always like to ask for a clip to share. And Jimmy is a homie, an absolute homie. Let's see what he's been up to lately. And then we'll also address Caffeine Fiend's redemption. They had a channel point redemption. I'm a hobbit of my word. We shall deliver the goods.
Wait,
I remember this shit.
Another one. What the fuck? We got Bow Wow. I got two.
We got the friends. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good name. Bow wow 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 wow.
Bow wow 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 wow.
Did the other guy have a funny name? His is yeah, blasting screen. Wait, hold on. What was it? What was it? Blasting screen of death. That is a funny name. I recognize this arena, but the enemies are different. I'm guessing this is some modified stuff.
Wait, it spawned
They're all
another
level
one.
50.
What the
I do like
fuck?
his name. Yeah, you're not normally fighting one of these guys in this area,
Two.
or the werewolf for that matter.
Wow, wow,
Of course,
wow,
Jimmy.
Wow, wow, wow.
Jimmy knows this game very well, so he's like handling it like a champ. Despite having like two very high level dudes in an area where you're not supposed to fight those guys. What were they showing? Unkillable enemy getting hurt? That's what was keeping me. That was what was keeping me at it. Like that's what was giving me hope that okay, if I keep at this, eventually something will give. But after like 4 or 5 rounds, it's like I don't think this thing's dying. So the fact that it yeah, blood was coming out, it was crying out in pain. Like that's you would think a good sign, and yet it was not happening. So yeah, it's the modded mode, right? Yeah, the modified mode. Yeah, that's when you're dead during the Akhenaten fight. Right, I remember the fight, but yeah, I figure it's probably some modified mode. That makes the most sense. And they were spawning in like customized enemies. AR was healing you. Well, that's the thing too, yeah, because I did see that, yeah, some healing abilities going on there. So not surprising that Jimmy found a way to crack the system. We got TNT Motion. What's up, dude? Some beer battered fish taco. Ooh, man, that does sound very nice. I can't complain too much. I had a really nice dinner myself. Gracie made us a really great chili 2 nights ago, and I've been having that for dinner the last couple nights. Gracie is she's kind of funny. She is much more likely to get tired of something food-wise. She's much more likely than I am to get sick of food. Whereas I never have that problem. I could eat the same thing day in, day out and have no problems. That has provided something good. And her cooking is very good. So yeah, so she made a whole bunch of chili and she's starting to get sick of it. But I get like, I could eat this for either lunch or dinner. I usually like to not have the same thing for lunch and dinner, but I could do lunch or dinner. Yeah, for like weeks or months if need be. She made a whole lot. So probably enough for like at least a week's worth. So I've been eating pretty good, honestly. Yeah, like a nice chili. She usually does vegan chili, but she made at least as long as we've been together, she made her first meatful chili. So with ground chicken, I think. and you know, lots of the usual fixins made it decently spicy. I would have almost liked it a little bit more spicy. I like it. I like it real spicy, but she made it really good. And there's a whole bunch of it. And she made cornbread, which is also, oh, mama, cornbread? Are you kidding me? Oh my god, amazing. Amazing. By the way, so Caffeine Fiend, they say, let's do a nice, hold on, let me get the exact description. A Lost comic, but how much we'll try to do the Lost thing, the Lost format, and like just recreate it as well as we can. I will do a very brief bit of cheating. I'll do a brief bit of cheating where I'm going to go ahead and set the lines up ahead of time, if that's acceptable. If I set the lines up ahead of time, could do like the whole thing, but then like my webcam covers it a little bit. Here, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna move the webcam. I'm gonna move it. Move it over a little bit. Give ourselves a little bit more real estate to work with. Free real estate. It's free webcam real estate. So, myself a nice bit of canvas space to work with here. There we go. And then, because it's a comic, right? It's a 4-panel comic. So, needs to be a little bit lower. Just kind of eyeballing it up. It's just not gonna be perfect, but trying to get it so that we get 4 panels. It's not gonna be 4 square panels, obviously. Probably pretty good. But 4, like, fair, hopefully decent enough, generous enough rectangles. I think that's probably pretty good. What do you think? I think that's good. I think that's decent 4 panels right there. I think that'll work for us. Some cornbread. Oh, that's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, it's a debuff, and also randomly gives you weird enemies, that is. And swaps the control. Oh, swaps the controls. Oh my. And spawns the bosses. Right. Immortal enemies before telling you. Yeah, some kind of tell, some kind of sign. That would be the courteous thing to do, Meerkat. I'm with you. Because I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just an incredibly high health bar. But after like 4 or 5 rounds, it's like, all right, something is up here. Because that's how I feel. That's how I feel. It's like this. And the fact this enemy is definitely special. It's definitely special in some way, given that it got a cutscene introduction. We haven't gotten an enemy cutscene introduction basically since the start of the game. Well, that's not true. We did get one for the dude on the gurney, but he was already dead, and we brought him back to life temporarily and then killed him again. So, like, this enemy is, like, clearly special. So, yeah, I understand the frustration, Meerkat. I feel the same way. Some kind of tell, like when you hit them, there's, like, a chink where, like, your weapon is, like, glancing off their armor, or they're, like, laughing at you, or something to tell you your weapon is ineffective, not blood splattering out and them taking what seems like painful motions. Like, it seems pretty obvious, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, just the format. Yeah. Well, to be honest, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that is of the Lost format. You know, the lines with the spacing as we all know it. I can't really think of anything that is of that same format that isn't just the comic. So, and actually, hold on. I'm going to do a quick perusal. Have I done this one before? I don't think I have. But I'm a little bit curious. I'm a little bit curious here. If I go into the Discord server, then I go into MSP Masterpiece. If I say comic. The problem, of course, is I have to do a lot of scrolling. Yeah, it might be... Oh, here we go, yeah. Yeah, so we've done something kind of like this before. Oh, right, the fractured penis x-ray, right. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, Gracie rushed into the hospital because guy broke his penis, and that's me. My penis is broken. That was the lore behind this MS Paint comic challenge. It was Lost, but it's Gracie rushing to the hospital because I'm in the bed. Right. Yeah. It was Ogasso, I think. Yeah. So that's the question. So another Lost variant that is maybe not quite the same. Well, the intro is going to be probably fairly similar because there's the receptionist, there's the doctor, like all that jazz. But yeah, I have to think of something. Why is the X-ray of a penis? Well, because in the lore is that I'd fractured my penis bone. That's the lore here that I invented off the cuff. Because it said, yeah, Gracie rushed into the hospital and you're in the bed. That was the lore. And I had to think of a reason. Why is Alex in the hospital bed? It couldn't be because I miscarried. For the obvious reasons. The obvious reason that I'm a responsible lad. Responsible lad. Gracie has me on the birth control pills so she can ejaculate inside of me all she wants. I'm just fucking around. I'm just fucking around. But yeah, that's right. Yeah. We got the M preg. We got the masculine preg. That's right. And Nemesis, yeah, Resident Evil Nemesis. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's super obvious, like very, very clear what's going on there. Exactly. Yeah, he says, carry on then. Yeah, broke penis mountain. All right. What's another one? What's another thing? This is admittedly one reason why I have the comic as expensive as it is, because I have a hard time thinking of ideas sometimes. I have a hard time thinking of ideas off the top of my head, especially for things to draw, because I'm so bad at drawing. But it's part of the fun. Also, I'm kind of surprised it reset the thickness. We'll do a 3-point. Yeah, 3-point thickness sounds good. Yeah, the broke penis one was such a natural thing to think of. How's about this? We'll do something themed around this game. How's that sound? I think I've got it. Right. We're gonna do one around the game we're playing, and I will do my darndest to represent it and represent the various characters in normal and informative ways. Is you're a genius at drawing? Well, I mean, it's creative. I'll say it that way. My drawings are ... creative. Here we go, friends. 3 minutes on the clock. I'm gonna try to go fast, and we actually have an actual timer now. It says Jackbox start. Not sure why it said. Oh, I guess that was the name I gave it back when we were playing Jackbox. So, I guess it has to have a title. MS Paint. Masterpieces. Masterpieces. All right, so I don't know if it'll make a noise with me. I guess we'll find out. But we'll go ahead and roll it. And if I go over my time, well, I'm not gonna go over my time because I never do. I never go over my time. I never overstay my welcome. Here we go. 3 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. So the doors swinging open. Here, I realize I already fucked this up. We'll do one door is closed and the other door swings open to reveal the protagonist lady. Got I'll do this. It's kind of the same thing here. She's got actually, well, no, we'll do it legit. We'll do it like this, but she has just one eye and then bandage over the other eye. She's nervous. She's worried. She checks in with the front desk. And you know it's her because once again, there's her hair and there's her. Oh, I guess I can't reverse these. Same thing there. Actually, no, she would not be smiling. She's concerned. I also give her a very prominent chin there. And then the person working the reception. They're pointing her which direction. And then the guy over here, he's not just any old dude, but he's the father character from the show or from the game. And you know that because he's got a crucifix book. He's got the book. He's got the Bible, the crucifix book, I'm trying to think what he looks like. I think he has glasses. And then here's our girl. She says, I'm looking for the person. Now, who's she looking for? I will tell you, dear viewer, in a moment. Oh, right. She should be facing that way. The person she's looking for is that fucking like weird demon creature I was just fighting. Actually, how do I like trying to think how I can depict that creature. It was like a giant. Oh god, I'm terrible at this. It was a very the eraser is for babies. Because they gave me a big eraser. It was like a Stay Puft Marshmallow kind of Michelin Man creature. And it was like big. And it was angry. And it was vaguely feminine. It had like kind of feminine hair, kind of sorta. It had like a lot of wrinkles and flaps and weird shit like that. Just all gross and mean and angry and not happy to see us. And we got our fucking crowbar. And we are ready to fucking fight this demon. We're saying, all right, I'm chasing your ass down because I want to finish this goddamn fight with you, lady. All right, that's all I got. That's all I got. that's what we got here. And of course, we did go over our time a little bit. That's a weird looking crowbar. It's a bit of a flaccid crowbar. Her hair is actually, hold on, I'm gonna switch back to the game real quick. Her hair is like red, kinda like a burgundy. I think we have a color like that in the MS Paint color palette, don't we? Yeah, that color will work. So for the hair. And then the bandage, we'll do like a light gray on the bandage. Color in. Very minimal details, obviously. And then this fucking guy will give it like a dark gray. Angy. Big and angy and weird. And there's the doctor. There's the doctor is it's a priest in this case. The priest in the scenario. It's best I got. The problem is like he's the only other NPC we've ever interacted with. I was like, who do I make this person? Well, we don't really have another person. He's the only friend we have. And I'm fairly sure he's real. I think he's a real person, but like we're the only one that interacts with him. It for all we know could be one of those games, one of those cases where like he's been dead the whole time, we've been in purgatory, or that kind of thing. That kind of deal is entirely possible. Let's save this one down. We'll save it as a JPEG, which means I have to start over. Because these were all PNGs previously. So I'm going to, when I say start over, I mean start over, or not start over, but go from like this knowledge of the number. It's going to be 441. So it's going to appear starting fresh. We're just continuing that with JPEGs. Oh. 441. Tormented Loss. Not JPEG. Reason I have to save it as a JPEG now is because if I save it as a PNG, it forces a transparent background, which is extremely weird. It's extremely weird, and I don't love it. I also don't like that. I think that's fucking stupid. But anyway. So that is what we got. Oh, what am I doing? I gotta post it to the Discord server. What am I doing? I gotta post it to the Discord server. What the heck, man? What the heck? All right, so let me close that. Move this one down. Redeemed by pieces. And I'm gonna copy and paste the exact prompt. Then, oh crap! Did I close it? I think I closed it. I forgot to actually like do the copy and paste. I'll do it now. Copy. And bam. It is in the Discord server, my friends. There it is. It's in the Discord server in all of its splendor. If anybody is not in the Discord server and you would like to join said Discord server, if you'd like to join and see the MS Paint masterpieces that we complete, and see some of the other MS Paint masterpieces that we've completed, including this one. All of them and more can be found in the Discord server. With the MS Paint Masterpieces channel, that's where all completed MS Paint masterpieces live and frolic. And if you would like a link to join the server, the link to do so can be found in that socials page. It's my Linktree page. It has everything I've ever done MS Paint challenge-wise, and there's 441 of them, if you can believe it. There's a lot of entries in there. Of course, the Discord server also has my my schedules that I post every week. Has links to the stream whenever I start the stream. Whenever I go live, I always post in the Going Live channel, and there's optional notification categories if you want to sign up for notifications for when I go live, when there's a new giveaway, that kind of thing. All those things can be found in the Discord server. But perhaps the most important thing is the MS Paint masterpieces. That's the stuff that's you really can't get anywhere else. Like a streamer's schedule, like who cares about that? A dank memes channel, a video game discussion channel, that comes a dime a dozen. But not a lot of people have fucked up MS Paint challenges. That's like the one selling point. That here at twitch.tv/superhobbit, this is the kind of stuff we really believe in as far as what sets us apart from other communities out there. Everybody gangster, everybody talks about what a cool gamer they are, but they're not brave enough to share their fucked up MS Paint disasters, which we always enjoy. Always enjoy. Michelin Man, Demon Fell. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Caffeine Fiend. Thank you again to Caffeine Fiend for the redemption. Thank you to Jimmy for that raid. Let us continue, my friends. Now we've made our way into this happy little area, and like I said, no angry Michelin Man ass motherfucking demons out here trying to slap our asses around. Now just a nightmarish children's room, nice and spooky and fucky. We get to read the children's diary. We apparently have gotten some entries from them before. Also, it occurs to me I should probably double check to see if there's a second page of Maria's diary, because we just got a new entry for that diary. A lot of times there's an entry and then like a picture. Sometimes there's two entries for one page, so I will check that in a second. Fleeing the mansion. Right, because before that one was the leather suits, and the grandfather Noah, who like tried to abduct them basically. So, and they got rescued by the other grandfather, and they fled the mansion, went to the porch. Mother was agitated. She was having trouble breathing and had blisters. So this is when she started to exhibit some signs of whatever illness was getting her. We're halfway across the bridge when the dudes appear from the other side. Oh, that's no good. We try to get close to the railings, but the dudes in the scary suits approached. And that's not good. Trying to get over the barricade, but the bridge started to break. That's no good. And then sister, let's see, I don't know which one this is. Either Anna or Emma. Actually, it might say in the intro. It does not say. So one of the sisters fell over, caught her by the arm, but she fell, couldn't do anything to stop it. Her mom lost her too. Men grabbed us both. Okay. The grandfather Noah. So Noah we know is like the evil one, because there's Bertram and Noah. Noah's the abusive, terrible, fucked up one. So it's probably Anna then, because Anna was the one in the cell. And Emma was presumed to have died then. It was of no use because they needed both of us to open the vault's entrance. There we go. So that's pretty fucked up. And yeah, sure enough, that is the only entry there. And then we, of course, we were like the force. We were the presence that allowed for Anna to escape her cell. We don't know where she went. Gonna try to find a place to hide, basically. Alright, so the question then is, okay, if this diary was written after she was put in that cell, how'd the diary end up in the children's room? That's a little bit weird. I mean, functionally, it's convenient there that we get more lore in here, but I just wouldn't expect to see this kind of lore here. I would have expected to have found it in the cell. So maybe this could be where she's hiding, or near where she's hiding. Like maybe it'd be weird to come back and place this here. I don't know, a little bit unsure. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it makes me wonder if there's some significance to its placement. Yeah, I'm gonna double check Maria's diary. This one. So yeah, this is the first one we checked, where she talked about being hopeful, and this one, it's the same thing. Okay, it's the same thing. Yeah, and how she really connected with her maid, whose name is also Anna. There you go. So there you go. Anything here? I do see this guy here. Is it something could fit in this slot? Do I have anything that could fit? This thing kind of, but not really. This thing also kind of, but not really. Can't just listen in on it. Yeah. So there's some kind of thing I don't have. And there are some curious drawings, but they're actually, well, for the most part, they seem okay. The first one is cool. The one on the right's nice. Her parents, rather her father up top and her mother to the right. Not sure what the one to the left is. Kind of hard to get a good look at it, but it looks a little bit ominous. Also, this is a children's room, and look at like all these like old-timey photos. Also very, very like fancy and very large beds for children. I guess depending how young they are. But yeah, it's a little bit of a creepy children's room, not gonna lie. This is the kind of children's room where if I was sleeping in this room as a kid, it would have given me nightmares. No question. Yeah, Farsight, honestly, I have a couple friends who have had kids recently, and I have some cousins-in-law that have recently had their third child, and that child has like gotten into like drawing stuff with crayons, and yeah, they've like shown pictures of their drawings to us. It's like, look, mommy, I drew you, and you hold up, and it's that like giant empty eye sockets and shit like that. It's like, oh god, I know they're trying to draw like a normal person, but they've drawn a sleep paralysis demon by complete accident. Speaking of demons, where's the creature? Go this way. And turn the audio up a little bit on my end so if I can hear it like slapping around. Trying to see what it says. Says cross-eye. I can't really read. I say it says handle with caution. Cross-eye something. Yeah, I can't really read it. Handle with caution. J. Bolt is the name. Children's rooms can be creepy. They definitely can be, especially like with old-timey stuff like this. It's guaranteed to be creepy. I think children's rooms can be fun, but it can go from fun to creepy very unintentionally, very quickly. So you're not wrong. I don't think I ever reloaded this thing. I'm curious to see what the reload looks like. Pretty unexciting. And I don't have a ton of charges for that thing, so that's not going to be long for this world necessarily. That's an object I can just kind of like stand in. You can see like this little thimble thing, or not thimble. That's not the right, but this spool here. I'm just able to kind of stand in it. At least I can kind of explore around a little bit at my own pace, because I'm assuming that demon fella, or lady, whatever it was, gone. I wonder if the implication is that like what happened to Maria? Pretty fucked up. So giant fucking, are they like mechanical lungs? Just giant fucking lungs, and then the weird fucked up, like twin infant fetuses that are misshapen and gruesome indeed. Some headboard shape of a house. That actually sounds kind of sick. It's like the fake happiness part that makes it creepy. I think it depends. I think a children's room can legitimately be made cheerful and like bright and fun and colorful. I think if it's done in earnest and it's done right, then it can be like warm and happy and nice. The problem is that if it's not done right, and if it's like uncanny at all, the uncanniness is where that creepiness thrives. As you know, we all know, of course, about the uncanny valley. I'm not talking about that. I just mean like, if it's just a little bit off, right? If something's a little bit off, if there's a doll in the corner that looks a little bit out of place, if there's just something not where it should be, like, that kind of sets the whole vibe. It's a sensitive vibe. The vibe is sensitive. Vibe is sensitive. Yeah, there's really nothing else here. We are allowed to leave. We are allowed to leave. And yeah, the demon is nowhere to be found. Thank goodness. I'm sure we'll probably see it again. These things never resolve themselves, as much as I wish that they would. So the children's room, kind of a bust for now. Oh, we have another room to check, and this leads to the office. This is the big one. This is where we need to go. Amalgamated babies. Babies? Oh, yeah. Well, we know that there's this weird ritual. We know there's this weird ritual that was, like, hinted at that involved twins. Identical twins. You need identical twins for some sort of specific ritual. And we also know that, well, or it was implied, it was very heavily implied that William, the doctor, the father guy, not the priest father, but the actual father, that he's been doing some weird medical experiments, and he's found that he's like, if he like does certain experiments with like certain kinds of cells and then inject it into like a fertilized fetus, he can like make twins happen, basically. And there's indication that he's gone behind Maria's back and has intentionally, like, after, you know, knocking her up, he's like intentionally been injecting her or like subjecting her to these treatments to try to like force, you know, the womb to like make twins, basically. And she's like had a lot of miscarriages, and it's like really, like, as you can imagine, made her extremely distraught and sad. And at one point, he's like, oh God, what have I done? Maria, how will you ever forgive me? Like, we figured it out, basically, that, yeah, he's the one that's been causing those miscarriages because he's been trying to force these twins to happen for some depraved, fucked up ritual thing. I don't know, but it's all very... not good, man. Bunch of Mario plushies? What if all the plushies are watching you? Well, just don't, like, ever get frisky in that room, like, while the kids are away. You know, the kids are at school, and, you know, you and the wife got some alone time. Just don't get frisky in that room, because I don't want all the Marios watching me and judging me. And judging me for the size of my penis. Photo of a metallic door. We have been there. We saw that in the Nightmare Zone. The first Nightmare Zone, no less. Porcelain dolls. Oh, yeah, that shit would be nightmare fuel. No question. Like, old-timey porcelain dolls... Fuck that shit 1,000 times over. Nail gun. You can judge my penis, Mario, but can you judge my cake? I'm gonna try that vinyl player in a second. Can I pop out the eye? Or maybe I put something in the eye. Much like one of our eyes is missing. Yeah, I would not be a fan. Lollipop would be down for. Lollipop says, you know what, fam? Sign my ass up. Box that is shut tight. A strangely cozy fire and a whole lot of blood. Whole lot of blood on this couch. And look at that, our character makes no mention of the blood on the couch, but the bench was recently ignited and, like, roaring pleasantly. Relatively pleasantly. Some WE-40. Stops squeaks. Drives out moisture. Cleans and protects. Loosens rusted parts. Freeze sticky mechanisms. Flammable. Contents under pressure. Freeze sticky mechanisms. Some WE-40. Another doctor's bag. I wonder if we're seeing all these doctor's bag. Well, for one thing, this is his office, so it makes the most sense. But maybe it's an indication that someone has been here recently. Opens the door, and you can see there's blood under the door, so... blood splotches there, and of course, again, right next to this spot here. So if we go out that way, we might encounter something or someone. Or some win. Alright, so we'll try the vinyl player in a second. And the other thing I want to explore is up this way. Oh, Jesus. That was unexpected. That was legitimately unexpected. I think he's dead. And this must be the doctor, right? Body's still warm. Was alive hours ago. Actually, this might be a different person. We know of another doctor. But if this is Dr. William, then the plot thickens. And girthifies, even. This is an entry in his diary. Got the Lightning McQueen bed. There you go. There you go. I never had the race car bed as a kid. I always like kind of wanted the race car bed as a kid. I never asked for one. But you know what, Alex? You're 36 years old. Time to make that dream a reality. Can you imagine? A queen-sized race car bed for Gracie and I? Can you imagine? Don't tempt me. Meerkat says, I'd do it. But would you have sex in it? Okay, I know the answer to that question. Why do I even ask? I know the answer to these questions. Don't open Pandora's box if you're not ready for the results, Alex. Don't open that can of worms if you're not ready for it. Room full of porcelain dolls. It's as bad as you think. Yeah, no fucking thank you. No fucking thank you, dude. I remember as a kid when I went to sleep, when I would like stay the night at my dad's place. Stay the night with my dad and my brother. Of course, my brother and I, we had like bunk beds when I stayed the night there. And yeah, I remember like there'd be times where I'd be unable to sleep, and I'd look over, and he had like an old, what's the word? Like a marionette, that would like, I think that's a word for it, where it's like a doll that's on strings, and you can like move the little piece of wood around that attaches the strings to kind of make it move. He had one of those kind of hanging on like an old lamp or something, and when the fan was on, like the ceiling fan, it would cause the marionette to like just kind of like oscillate a little bit, just kind of wobble back and forth a little bit. And I remember there were times where I'd have a hard time sleeping. I'd kind of look over at it, and like I'd see its face just slowly turn towards me. It wasn't an overly creepy marionette, but I remember that motion, seeing that, being like, I think I'm gonna turn around now. I think I remember that shit, man. Are there queen-sized race car beds? I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are. He says, I got a cool one, he says. Now, I'd be shocked if there weren't. I'm sure there are, like, I bet there's a king-size race car bed. Let's be real. I'm sure there's like real shit. Real shit, yeah. Give me PTSD. It wasn't that bad. It was a little bit creepy, but the doll itself wasn't creepy. I think it was more like my imagination running wild with it. That's the more likely case, honestly. I would rather that 1,000 times over than creepy porcelain dolls or hyper-realistic dolls. No, I don't fuck with that shit. That's some real Uncanny Valley shit, and that would give me nightmares, no doubt. So December 16, 1994, that's the day before the day, like, when this game takes place. So that's one day prior to right now in game. Returned to the restroom, right, left the subject and found she'd escaped. That would presume be Anna. Presumably that's the girl that we freed. No other test subjects. Everyone is relocated to the new hospital. Not stand by seeing her in that state because of me and my ego. Minister Maria with the antidote. Yeah, I wonder if that demon we saw was Maria. I sure hope not. Her body began convulsing. She released a deafening shriek. Everything went back to silence. She collapsed. She became lucid. When she moved her lips, I stepped closer to listen. Said, William, my father has taken the girls. Yeah? Yeah. I mean, that's correct. Her eyes slowly closed. Please smile spread across her face. Trying to tell me her life finally ended. So she died after she delivered that bit of intel to him. I'm glad he was told about it. I'm kind of surprised he didn't figure it out on his own. Oh, no, that's right. He knew they were missing. He just didn't know where they went. And that it was Grandfather Noah who took the girls. Now, if he knows where Grandfather Noah is, I guess that's unclear. The unspeakable things I'll do to you, Noah. I don't feel well at all, he says. My heartbeat is accelerated. My mouth is dry. Eyes are cloudy. Throat is tight. Someone has poisoned my wine, he says. And if we look at him here, it looks like he's got some kind of bandage on his forehead, so he took some kind of hit to the head. And there's stuff... Yeah, I guess that's why. It looks like a cask of... What's this? Vintage... Oh, it says, yeah, vintage Chateau, so never mind. That is wine, I guess. Yeah. He spilled the beverage. So someone poisoned his wine, he says. Too dark outside to see anything. So William is dead. Dr. William is dead. Not terribly surprising. Maybe the spills we were seeing earlier wasn't blood, but was wine, but I have a hard time believing that, honestly. We have books about science. What I sure hope is that the body that we saw that was being gnawed upon, I hope that wasn't Maria's body. That'd be pretty fucked up. We know she is dead. We know both her and Dr. William are dead. Alright, only one thing left to do. This cool new record. Play that funky music, white boy. Let's listen. I have a sneaking suspicion we're gonna need that like melody. We're probably gonna need that. So I'll try to remember it. I'll try to remember it. If nothing else, I could always go back and rewatch the VOD, you know, like bring up like a clip of it or something. So we'll see. It's not overly clear what that's used for. We'll find out. I'm also not sure what the WE-40 will be used for when the time comes. Is there something that we couldn't open? Or something that was... Actually, for one thing... No, it's shut tight. I'm looking for anything that involves... Yeah, do I use this to get the other eye out? That's not it. Do I use the hammer to fucking break his head? Nice. Yes, I'm not exactly sure. I'm trying to think of something that we need to pry open. There they are. Or there she is. God, it's so loud. It's so fucking loud. Do we have to deal with this fucko now, like, forever? I hope we wouldn't have to deal with this fucko, and yet. But in these narrow hallways... We have to deal with the fucko sometimes. Who knows where she went? I gotta say, I don't think I needed a nemesis thing. A nemesis enemy in this game. I don't think that's what this game was missing. But, you know, when it comes to old school Resident Evil inspiration, that is something. That's one that a lot of folks remember for sure. Dorm bed was nice and chill. Twin, extra long, nice and solid, he says. A whole 2 minutes. That's what we call it, business time, Farsight. 2 minutes in heaven is better than 1 minute in heaven. Yeah, it was just like that right level of comfort. That's important. That is very important. The problem is that I'm less inclined to wander. I'm less inclined to like wander around. For fear of encountering that fucko. That mean lady that makes the music loud and annoying. The nice thing is she probably won't sneak up on me. The nice thing is, like, when she appears, we will hear her coming, because the music will go and just become fucking obnoxious. So at least there's that. And it seems like going into another room resets her to some other place. I don't know if it's procedurally decided, if it's scripted. Hard to say. We have the WE-40. What do I do with this? And then there's the manner of the cash register puzzle. Cash register puzzle is also unclear. all the bad guys down here. We still haven't found anything else revealing about the cash register puzzle. But I'm wondering if maybe that's what I should focus on next. What's up, Game Fox? With the raid, we're playing some Tormented Souls. How the heck are ya? We're playing spooky survival horror game. I know. Somebody's streaming a horror game on October 29th. Technically 30th. Can't imagine anybody playing spooky games in this time of the year. Alex, you're so unique. I'm so special. No, this is a good one. It's Tormented Souls. It is very much inspired by old school Resident Evil, old school Silent Hill, that kind of classic survival horror we all know and love. We get that fixed camera angle goodness. We all love it. And in fact, we were just introduced in-game to a nemesis-like entity that so far seems to be unkillable. So you have to, like, navigate around her when she appears. And in classic survival horror style games, there are puzzles. And there's one here that I think I need to work on, or I need to at least think about. I was hoping by now we would have found more intel to tell us about this puzzle, but nothing jumps out just yet. I have these things written down as well as I can. In fact, I'll do myself one better. I'll go and grab a screenshot. Screen grabby. I have that with me. Actually, let me do that. Let me do that. Do that more gooder. Because I think the dots are important. There we go. Because, yeah, you see the dots. I know you can't see my cursor right now, but the dot in the bottom left and the dot in the center of the two, I think those are significant. So I think this might be the next thing for us to focus on, is try to like chew on this puzzle. Because it's not so obvious. It's not like, oh, hey, just do some quick arithmetic. I think this puzzle will be a little bit involved. It's a cash register right here. The reason I know it involves the cash register. Maintenance log. Because this guy right here, and look at that. Look at that. Doesn't that look suspiciously familiar? So he was saying how, yeah, the cash register just can't open. The only person who can figure it out is a doctor we've actually never heard of in game, who was missing, which checks his personal belongings, couldn't figure out what's going on. So this is some kind of key, right? This is some kind of sequence, and the hint that we saw was supposed to be, of assistance, helping us figure out a 4-digit code. A 4-digit code. So this is what we're looking at right now. This is what we're dealing with, except you can't see. I realize this might... Oh, here, I'll just do one of these. Shrink that down. Shrink-a-dink that down. There we go. Much better. So that's what we're working with. But in the meantime, though, Game Fox, thank you for that raid. Thank you for that raid, and I appreciate you a whole bunch. I know it's getting late. No worries if you need to get to sleepy times. No worries if you need to get to sleepy times. But we're playing... Oh, by the way, Game Fox says... CPU being weird. I don't see anything on my end. Encoder overloaded. I don't see anything on my end. Oh, right. Look at that. I forgot to close this from earlier. But, actually, while I'm here, I can double check my own stream. Let's double check my own stream, make sure it's twerking. Yeah, must be okay. So I think it is okay, hopefully. But Game Fox was playing some Pokemon. Having a good old time. Yeah, no, Game Fox, they can't hear me right now because they probably had to refresh. There we go. Yeah, sorry about the snafu there. Yeah, I don't see anything on my end, so hopefully it's addressed now. If the Twitch video player is being weird, it happens. It does happen to the best of us. Thank you, Game Fox, for that raid. I see you're doing some Pokemon Legends ZA. It's the new one. I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, that's the downside, is you get double Alex sometimes. But yeah, we're playing as a really cool survival horror game. Let me go back to just kind of the main game. As you can see, yeah, it's survival horror. It's like old school Resident Evil inspired. It's very good. This actually has been out for a couple of years now. This one came out in 2021. The newest one came out last week, and I think we're approaching the final act of this game. We got a ways to go still. I'm pretty sure, at least, before we like approach the end to this game. It's a fun one though. It's very good. It's also fairly tough. The puzzles are real butt scratchers. You would think head scratches, but I think and talk out of my ass all the time. And in particular, we have this cash register puzzle. We saw a note that said, actually here, I'll bring that note up. There was a note that says, yeah, nobody can figure out how to open the cash register except for this one guy. And we found some notes by this one guy that show these little deals right here. And I took a screenshot of these like drawings, these glyphs on the wall in the office adjacent to this little front desk area. What does it all mean? That's the question. What does it all mean? Indeed, clearly it has to map to some kind of 4-digit code. It's got to be 4 digits because that's what we can punch into the cash register. The thing is held tight right now. That's kind of where I'm at. You'll note that there's no instance where it's a square with just an X in the middle. Sometimes there's a vertical line, sometimes there's another vertical line, sometimes there's no X at all and it's diamonds. Sometimes you just get the one. It's a little bit ominous, a little bit unclear. Also, not only are things, like in this case, right? You got the one that's in the corner, one in the center. You get the corner, you get the center, or like in like you get the one in the vertexes basically. But then look at this guy. You get the one in the middle there. It's a little bit hard to tell, but if you look closely, this is on grid paper. So maybe the way to think about this is the grid, like each grid unit is a full step. What's unclear though is here, if this is 2, why is this 3? Shouldn't it be like the middle of that should be 3? I would presume take this to mean the movement of the dot is what causes it to go up. I don't know. This is a head scratcher for sure. But Game Fox, thank you again for that raid. And if you have any clips you want to share, you know I always love to see them. I always love to see what our friends are up to. Yeah, she's really been enjoying the new Pokemon game. It looks great. I know that not everybody loves the newer Pokemon games. It seems like a lot of people liked Arceus. The Pokemon Legends series seems like it's been pretty well received. And it seems like the mainline games can be a little bit controversial for some, or divisive, I guess, for some. But it seems like the Legend series has got the juice. So I'm glad the new one's good. And of course, yeah, like I said, as always, Game Fox, would love to see if there's any clips yours to share. No pressure if you're good on the clippies, but if there's anything of yours you would like to share with us, I'm super down. And I'm definitely down for like, well, if anybody knows the answer to this puzzle, I would probably hold off on like the super prominent nudges. But if anybody does not know, if you've never played this game before, but you have ideas, I'm down for ideas. Here's a clippy from Game Fox. What they've been up to on their streamy streams.
Does kind of seem to respawn.
Crow Country, yo. Good fucking game. Good game right there.
Is he dead? Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Now he's dead. I don't know if I remember the exploding
Does kinda
fellas.
seem to respawn.
I might not have gotten far enough for the explodey boys.
Is he dead? Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Fucking pops like a Diablo 2 Necromancer cast. Diablo 2 when you fucking cast Ray's skeleton in Diablo 2, they just emerge like a pile of blood and guts out of the dead body. Or I guess corpse explosion, even more violent and brutal. Crow Country's a good one. I need to go back and beat that one. That's a good one. I like how Game Fox said Drow Country, which actually I think Drow, like the Dark Elves in Dungeons and Dragons. Drow Country. That's some good shit. No, that's a good game. I need to go back and finish it. I like a lot of what I saw. And in fact, that game comes up a lot in conversations along with this game as well, because both, borrow very heavily from classic survival horror kinds of games. So that's some good stuff. The first thing I'm wondering about this puzzle we're on. Crow Country had some puzzles, of course. I don't know if it had anything quite, at least as far as I've gotten to that game, I don't know if it had anything quite this head scratchy. Crow Country seemed like it was a little bit more focused on like exploration and survival with like combat challenges. There's combat in this game for sure, but yeah, I feel like you spend a bit more time in this game with the puzzles, for better or for worse. focusing on the dot placements or the placements of like the lines. To me, the lines have to be some significance. Have to be of some significance. The number of lines. There's always a vertical line, but there's not always a horizontal line. There's not always diagonals. Not always diagonals, which makes it tricky. So, and I also can't help but wonder, you know, using this system as an example, and maybe that's what this is. This is just an example. Moving the dot from here to here is 3. Trying to think of like if there's some kind of like like some kind of like sequence, some kind of obvious or maybe less than obvious sequence. I like the movement of these dots because there's one here. This one goes from here to here to here. Like, yeah, there's nothing obvious that kind of like transitions obviously from one to the other. And we got Atheist or Athias who says grid paper is part. Okay, that does help. Thank you, Athias. That is helpful. Because I wondered if the grid emplacements were important. Yo, what's up, Chuck? Good to see you, buddy. He says, is it maybe how many lines intersect the dots? Well, 2 intersect there, 3 to intersect there. You might be onto something. You might be onto something, yeah. That would explain this guy. That would explain this guy. Because technically it is 3 on that vertex. Well, that probably tells us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, it's all the, or is it all the same line? Is it all the same line? Yeah, so we'll have to experiment a little bit. We'll have to experiment. The other point, though, Athias just told us the grid paper is important. So, because if the grid paper, like the grid that's kind of in the background, is not relevant here, then this would just be 0. Yes, that'd be 0. Either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it depends on like how you cut it. So we'll try a couple things. Yeah, Chuck said, yeah, let's see the other ones. Yeah, this one obviously be 1 or 2, but probably 1. Probably. Oh, yeah, right. It wouldn't be every conceivable line touching it, because this one's only 2. If it was every conceivable line, it'd be 4. Right. So if we're going with that as the assumption, this one is 0. This would be 1, 2, 3. So probably 3. This is what I'm thinking. Because this is a single line. Probably. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That's how Chuck got the 4. This one, probably 1. 2, 4, 1. And this one, probably 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I say let's try it. Let's try it. It says, yeah. 0 fun morpho is one Chuck say is maybe thinking. That's a pretty good. That was a very smart observation, Chuck. The number of lines that intersect the dot. This whole time I was thinking about like the dot moving, like the dot's motions as being something. Let's try it. The game screen real quick. Game Fox says it is sleepy time. Thank you for hanging out with us, Game Fox. Always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure. Really appreciate that raid and appreciate you sharing the clip with us. 0, 4. Let's try the 1, 4. That did it. We get a couple things. We got the heals. That was a good eye, Chuck. That was good thinking. Putting our brains together. And by our brains, I mostly mean Chuck's brain, because he got that big brain. Got the Chuckmeister big brain. Strange coin with a symbol. Coin with a symbol. Strange coin with a symbol. Doesn't really do a whole lot for us. Is that star constellation significant? Are the butterfly wings significant? If I count the number of stars, I don't know if it's really necessary right now. We have that. We have the WE40. He says, that's my one. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. No, it is very helpful, Chuck. I appreciate you, buddy. Coin. What do we do with the coin? It was in the cash register. Heard a noise just now. Is there something schmoving about? Vending machine. Huh. Oh. I forgot this was interactable. Coin vending machine? Maybe. Insert coin. Ah, how convenient. That one? But I want maximum soda. Oh, it gives me the coin back. I chose incorrect. Sorry, we're out of that one. It's gonna have us do Simon Says. Having us do Simon Says. I don't want that maximum soda. I want the other maximum soda. Is there a minimum soda that's like the Diet Coke version? 0 sugar? Ah! I hacked it. Like the fuck you noise it makes when you fuck it up. Yeah, I was like, if I press the wrong one, it gets upsetty. Beep bonk. I like the noise it makes. All right, let's keep trying. Simon Saysing us. Use the hammer. Just fucking crack it open. I mean, that's what I want to do, honestly. Just fucking just dispense with formalities and force this thing open. Use the crowbar. The number of times I wish I could use the crowbar in this game to force the thing open when it's like, oh, sorry, you need the key to unlock it. You need something to open. It's like, bro, I have all these blunt weapons that are engineered for forcing things open. I also have WD-40 to really grease the wheels. There we go. Is that a bag of blood? A blood bag filled with blood. I think the soda's gone bad, guys. The soda might have gone bad. Numbers are all the same, yeah. Let's see. No expiration date, that's reassuring. Blood type A. SimLab Solutions. Volunteer donor. I'm looking to see if there's like a name on it. No name. A positive. A plus, even. I mean, I guess that's more useful. Probably more useful than a soda. Soda! Were there letters on the coin? Yeah, I guess it gobbled the coin up, so I guess I have no use for it now. Man, that's very convenient. I exited that room, and it just happened to be sitting here. I forgot about this fucking thing. I forgot it was there. And interactable in some way. Good if you're a vampire, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, maybe this vending machine just dispenses soda pouches. And that's just what we have. We have soda pouches. And the soda got a little bit bad. It's all blood themed. I don't suppose there's anything else. Anything else to do here, yeah. What to do with the blood? Any place where, like, something could have blood connected to it? I'm also thinking about the WE40. Oh, There was the... I know exactly what to go for. I know exactly what to do. Because in the first instance of the Nightmare Zone that we ever saw, there was that one door that was too rusted to open, and I tried using the acid on it. No dice. I bet that's where we need to go. And there was a picture of that door, a very elaborate painting even of that door, in William's office. Dr. Williams' office. Think about this. Where was that room? Where was that room? It was... I want to say it was on the second floor. I want to say the second floor. I can't really remember where it was. And it leads down into like a basement area. Yeah, floor B, is that it? Yeah. Kinda, sorta. Or 1 east. Oh, never mind. That's not... Yeah, that's not what I'm thinking it is. No, I don't think it would show up here. Where was that room? I feel like I would know it if I saw it. I don't think it's the meeting room. I think it's maybe near the meeting room. Let's see, while we're here... I might poke around here a little bit. Just to make sure it's not here. It would make... Honestly, it would make more sense if it was on the ground floor. Maybe I should save. I'm pretty confident we'll be okay. It would make more sense if it was on the ground floor. Then it would make sense to kind of lead into a basement area. It is around here somewhere. Bathroom, I think. Yeah, public restroom. What else we got? What are some other rooms? That leads back to the atrium. I remember that. I need to waste my time there. There's another... like another hallway somewhere. Where easy to get turned around here. That would lead back to... yeah, service area. Yeah, it's not the shower, it's not the laundry. Studio, the archives, the kitchen. Yeah, okay, so it's not here. I'll check the other wing, which means we're going back to the atrium anyway. Check the other wing of the ground floor. Fucking blood bag in the vending machine. That's very strange. Maybe it's a blood vending machine. Maybe that was the thing back in the 90s. I was 5 years old in 1994. Maybe I just don't remember. Maybe that's just how it worked back then. You know? Blood banks had to get creative. Back in the 90s, the early 90s. Had to get creative and find other ways to dispense blood for those who might need it. Oh, now here's another one. But that one's just out of order. Okay. Maximum lemon soda. Oh, there is a red flavor. Is it cherry flavor or is it blood flavor? Yeah, Alex, don't you remember they were next to payphones, right? The blood vending machines? Come on. Alex, I thought you were an old timer like the rest of us. Oh, the fucking ladies here. Can I just leave? And then go back? Yeah, that's exactly what I can do. She's that easy to avoid. Well, that's at least reassuring. She's relatively easy to navigate around. I don't think this is it, man. Call the chief, because this ain't it. Someone call the chief, because that ain't it, chief. This ain't it, chief. Yeah, maybe it is the first floor. Maybe it is the second floor. Let's explore the second floor then. I might just be getting my wires crossed. Yeah, they would have blood bag vending machines next to the cigarette machines. Yeah, the cigarette vending machines we all know and love. Who could forget? Could forget the cigarette vending machines. I definitely remember seeing cigarette vending machines, but I don't know if I remember them being like really around in the 90s. I've seen them before, but like only like really vintage situations. Like old-timey vintage situations. Versus like an honest to goodness like, oh, hey, we have this because it's functional. Does sound like a wild time though. The idea of, let's see, what's this? Yeah, it's just a vending machine, just any old person. And if you got the quarters for it, step right up and get yourself some of the goods. Gotta be the second floor. It's gotta be the second floor, man. I don't doubt they probably were around by some degree in the 90s, but I have no memory. Outside of every blockbuster, that's right. Which was in style at the time. Which was the style at the time, rather. Blockbusters, cigarette vending machines, and blood bag vending machines. Y'all remember when like oh, is this it? Yeah, there it is. I knew we'd find it eventually. Y'all remember when a motherfucking bottle... Oh, this is the wrong one. That is a convenient shortcut for getting back into the morgue area. Now, y'all remember when a motherfucking soda... Not even like a can of a soda, but like a bottle, like a plastic bottle of a soda cost like $1? Y'all remember that shit? I'm gonna hit you with the old man. I remember when things were not as expensive back in the day. But it's true, no, I remember that shit. I remember it was $1 for like a plastic, like a liter bottle of soda. And it was a very convenient amount. You know, real easy. And then like, somewhere around in middle school. It started creeping up to $1.25. Started creeping up to $1.25. Then in high school, it crept up to $1.50. And it kind of stayed there for a while, I think. I think it stayed $1.50 for a while. But now it's fucking $2.75 because we can't have nice things. Ain't that some shit? I can't remember this goddamn room is. Your kid says, I remember. God damn it. So annoying. You got a 2-liter? Oh, really? Advice. Damn, son, for 98 heckin' cents. Goddamn. That was probably not from a vending machine, right? That was probably from a, like a grocery store, but still, or a convenience store, but still. 98 cents for a 2 liter is pretty sick. Pretty dope. Let's check the other wing. The thing is, this room I'm looking for had to have been available to us, I think, for quite some time. As I remember going there fairly early on. It was like a little trapdoor area. I just can't remember what room had the trapdoor. It was a room that looks like this one, kind of. We couldn't explore as much of the other wing because this door right here was locked. And this down here was barred. Not so sure it would be the other wing. Man. I'll poke my head out real quick. Real quick. Because, yeah, we would have only been able to come here. Yeah, this definitely ain't it. This is not it for sure. We would have only been able to come here when basically in our first session upon picking this game back up. Whereas in the very first session, we of course uncovered the mirror area, the mirror door. So if it's anywhere up here, it'd have to be the east wing. Anywhere up here. It's not the meeting room. Not the sewing room, not the bedroom. Wouldn't be the library. I don't think it's the dining room. Because the library wasn't accessible. We couldn't get to the library. It's gotta be on the first floor, and I must have just fucking walked past it like a doofus. Wouldn't be the basement. I don't think. Oh, you know, I did emerge from that side. I didn't actually check this side. Let's explore around a little bit more on this. Oh, you know what? It's probably in this wing. The door's here. And this... Wait, does this lead to the studio? I don't think it's in the studio. Studio is kind of a connecting area. $1.20 for a gallon? Yeah, oh my god. I do remember seeing, like, 99 cents per gallon. I remember seeing that shit back in the day. I do remember seeing that shit back in the day. And then this, yeah, what goes in there? It's freezing cold. Okay, like, what do you do with this? What do you do with something with this being freezing cold? Do I spray the WD-40? No, that's not it. Do I staple the ice? Do I freeze the blood? Why would you want to freeze the blood? Hard remains. Human bones? What the hell? Back to the warehouse. We don't necessarily need to be in, I don't think. Exits back to that same loop. Yeah, fuck. I can't find this damn room, man. I can't remember where it is. Something here? This feels closer to what I'm looking for. Nah, it's just back to this is the main chapel area. Gotta be on the ground floor. That's best I can figure. I checked all the obvious suspects of the second floor. I don't think it's here in the studio. Probably walked past it. Silly, silly person. Like a strange man. Public restroom. We know about that one. Oh, here it is. Here it is. No, this is not it. This is the boiler room. This is not it. Fuck. Yeah, this was we couldn't get into here until we had the scalpel to cut the rope. That leads back to the atrium. Second trapdoor to make me second guess myself. And trapdoor in a row to bamboozle me. Oh, here we go. I always forget about this area. I always forget about this area because the camera, it's so dark. I never see it. Knew there was something I just wasn't remembering. There was like a wing I couldn't remember. We of course already been. This leads to the laundry area. All right, so it's got to be this one door. The last possible door there was left to check that I hadn't yet checked. Not what I was expecting. This is also the laundry area. I go to the right door. Oh, I get out of here. I'm like trapped in a maze. Laundry. I don't want to be in the laundry room. I'm trying to get back to the main area. Service area. Okay, so that was not the right door. No, I wanted to go through this. Well, yeah, no, I did go through that one. Does that lead? Oh, it leads to the shower room. Okay. So I guess it must have been locked previously because yeah, we've had access to this door. Like we could reach this door. Dude, my dumbass. I can't remember where that trapdoor is, or like it wasn't like a trapdoor, but it was definitely a ladder. It was like a trapdoor in a room. It was kind of like the meeting room. But damn, I just can't remember what it was or where it was. I guess we haven't been there in a long time. The other half. And if nothing else, I guess I could go back to the meeting room. I I thought I'd already checked there pretty thoroughly, though. It's the room with the very first mirror we ever encounter. First mirror that you can go into. And go into, like, the alternate dimension. Was it this one? Don't think so. We already explored this area. Like a little tucked away, little hidey hole area. See, the thing with the monster that's roaming the halls now, it's an annoyance that is very easy to circumvent. Because, yeah, you just go back in the door you came from, toggle it, and it just all works out. It's not exactly threatening, it's more of an inconvenience. So it's a mild annoyance. More than anything. Nothing. There's a door back there, but I can't actually get to it. Never noticed that before. There's a door right there, but I've never been able to get to it, I guess. I'm half tempted, Jesus. I'm half tempted to just look up what's the room with the goddamn mirror? I can't remember. Excuse me. Could it be through here? He's like just wandering around somewhere. Could be through here. Let's check. I guess I didn't check these closely enough. Here we go. Here we go. Now we found it. Yeah, so I walked by these rooms earlier. I didn't think it was in, like, the hospital area. Well, it's all hospital. I didn't think it was in, like the hospital, like, rooms area. I thought it was, like, in the residential area. I think I was conflating the trapdoor adjacent to the, like, meeting room area. I think I was conflating that. Oh, this fucking guy is back. Oh, I'm, like, big wounded now. Okay. I'm going to hit him with the old shotgunnerino. I'm surprised this guy's back. I didn't think there'd be multiple of them. Yeah, Athias, yeah, you got me. I appreciate that, Athias. Okay. Oh, he's still at me. He's got that good reach. Got that good reach around. You know, when we first encountered one of these guys, I was able to ring around his Rosie. Dead? Good. I was able to ring around his Rosie. I was able to kind of, like, draw him around a little, like, central bench area, like a central bed. Kind of kite him that way. That works good, too. Good, too. Yeah, it's our second time fighting one of those guys. Like I said, it could be the same guy, because we found him, like, in the hell dimension. Maybe we sent him to hell. We killed his ass. So this one, can't pry it open. Can't pry it open. Can't fucking do it. Bunch of fucked up surgical tools. Weird goods for weird experimentation. So this one right here is the one I was thinking. Won't budge, need to force it somehow. And then they also say it's too rusted to move. Well, what if I do this? This one down here too. I do appreciate the assist there with Athias. If I wouldn't have figured it out with that that last little couple of areas, it would have been in dire straits. Is there anything else I can spray? Oh, I wonder if there's something else. Or use the hammer? Oh, there we go. That works. That works. Now the question is, what am I getting my ass into? Maybe I should go back and save. Now that we're getting into something very mysterious and unknown. I have no idea how deep this rabbit hole goes. Maybe a little insurance would be worth my while. Save point on this floor almost assuredly. We're in... Oh, other one. Maternity ward. Going to the examination room. Embarrassed, I like just couldn't remember where this fucking room was. Yeah, it's funny how like, you know, you don't go to an area in a game like this in a long time. And some of these areas start to blur together a little bit. I mean, I think this game does a pretty good job of making the various zones fairly unique. I think they're like fairly unique, and I appreciate the different floors and the different areas. You know, this is like a reception area. Upstairs, there's the residential area. There's also the ICU, and here's like the maternity area. You know, like there's like clusters of spots that let's see, it'd be next to... Oh, wrong one. It's attached to the waiting room, so we gotta go back to the waiting room then. So annoying. So I feel like this game does a pretty good job of that. It's not like one of those where like everything just looks the same. But it is easy to get turned around, and I think that's probably by design. It's probably meant to be a little bit labyrinthine. The dentist room. I'm looking for... And for the other one. It's just not very scary. It's just annoying. Examination, that's one. I wonder if other folks, when they first played this game and they first encountered that spirit and realized it was unkillable, and now realize they have to like navigate around them constantly, if it's more of an annoyance than it is of like something that's scary. I half expected we'd get some kind of narration, because we've seen some stuff since we last saved, but I guess the narrations only change if like a chapter is completed. The game isn't like explicitly organized into chapters, but I think it's kind of implicitly set that way. It's like implied that there are chapters. Oh, what am I doing? Like major acts, maybe not chapters, but yeah, acts of the game. Then it was up. There we go. Down we go. Is the real truth? That is how you save. That's correct. Yeah. Have you played this game before, Atias? I'm guessing you probably know it pretty well. From maybe from if like you've seen other people play it, because yeah, and what's interesting is you have a finite number of recording tapes, so you have a finite number of times you can save. Now the game is relatively generous with the number of reel-to-reels you can find, but not overly generous, so you can't save scum, and of course the save points are scattered around decently well. So those two things alone prevent you from like saving a whole bunch. Like, oh, I killed one guy, let me go back and save. It's like, it sort of artificially forces you to think and ration out your saves. But really, you'll likely end up how I've ended up, with way more tapes than I need. Alright, that's fine. Come back. Yep, I toggled it, yeah. So... that's the kind of thing that, like, might deter some people. It's like, oh, man, it limits how many times you can save. That's fucked up. By the way, speaking of fucked up, blood sewage. But no, I find that it's like, it's more where, like, you kind of get in your own head. Alright, so we're familiar with these guys. God, fix camera. Ouch. Did I knock him down? I did knock him down. Good. I say it should be 3 hits. I think we've pretty much narrowed it down to a science. Once you knock them down, it's 3 hits with melee to drop them. The baby demon noises were unexpected. But yeah, just to complete the thought about the saves, it's like you get in your own head, you start to ration them out, you start to like weigh whether or not it's worth using a save for one instance versus the other. But yeah, you'll inevitably end up with more than you need. Most likely. Oh my sweet dad. Sweet fucking damn. What the shit? Well, now we know where there's like fucking nightmare demon children noises. Skeleton of Siamese twins joined at the fucking skulls. Great. Love that for us. You know, the people play. Yeah. Incubator has been used in a while. No mention, no talk at all about the blood sewage spewing from the walls. All right, let's go ahead and deal with this. Go ahead and like look at this and see what's going on here. Hands are grasping for the hang of the dolls. Yeah. Well, it's nice and fucked up. Yep, very good. I mean, we're calling it the Nightmare Zone or the Nightmare Dimension for a reason. It's no question how it earned that name. What fresh fuck awaits us in the delivery room? Let's find out the nightmare version of the delivery room. You know what? Claustrophobic area. I'm running out of patience with these jabronis. I can blast his ass. Oh, that just straight up killed him. Yep. Because I shot him once with this thing. No shotgun ammo. Here's some more. Got some flayed skin stretched out across the walls. Very nice. Nice and fucked up and nightmarish, as it should be. Kind of thing would really torment someone's soul, you feel me? Another mirror here, which is unexpected. Would this send us into a double nightmare zone, or would it turn us back to normal? In an area that we would presumably otherwise not be able to reach. Their cribs, I wonder? They were first born. The twins, that is. It seems like there's not much else we can do here. So, I say, for better for worse, continue. Oh, another torture device wheel thing. It's a wheel. Scary, alright. What else on the side down here? Alright, cool. Yeah, let's go through the mirror and... assuming it brings us back to the normal dimension. We are in the delivery room, which I thought we'd been to a delivery room before. Maybe we haven't. Ah, the door's been blocked this whole time. There's no way to get there unless it's through the mirror. Oh, sure enough. We see leg straps. We all know what happens here. Guys, we got a save point here, which is nice. A little silly. I feel like I shouldn't have saved here. I saved earlier. The blood bed. We'll just, or blood bath. We'll just assume it's, rust. It's just rust. So that's all it is. That's what we're going with. Athia says endoparasitic. The dude, like the guys that were clawing around trying to. Well, there was the guy on like the fucking ivy stand that was rolling around. Then there was the guy that was like crawling with those like claw hands. Or do you mean the Siamese twins? It's either or. Archangel brandishing a weapon. And he's about to slap down the demon fella. The sword's all glowy. Or something. Hear my own movements. I was hearing something. Let's approach with utmost caution and confidence. By the way, again, achievement for collecting all of Maria's entries. So the last entry from Maria, not in chronological order necessarily. Boom, they've taken the girls. Father put a sedative in my drink. I realized it beforehand. Made him think I was sleeping. And she's the one that stopped the leather-clad dudes from stealing the girls. He was talking about the ritual, right. The Wildberger girls have been taken to the temple. Trying to be the leader of some kind of cult or tribe. It's unclear. Bring our savior back to the world. Yeah, some fucking demon summoning shit. Yeah, the legless guy. Yeah, that makes sense. Legless, I love that guy from Lord of the Rings. Went to rescue the girls. That's right. If I don't come back, no, I tried my darndest. Yeah, and she was, like, partly successful, but they did catch up with her eventually. Oh, wait, hold on. I should see if there's a part 2. There probably wasn't. It ended on a pretty definitive note there. Yeah, so both sides have the same piece to the story. Yeah, we kind of knew how that was going to end. Get hecked. And dropped his ass, and then we conclude his ass. Finish him. Right. What else we got? Archangel brandishing a weapon. Yep. This one's also glowy. It's a different kind of weapon, but pretty similar. Some kind of sword. Short sword, maybe. Suit of armor behind some glass. We got a lot of those. Impressive mansion / hospital. Goddamn maze is what it is. It is also impressive. It can be both things. Can't see shit. Oh. Oh, that's a raid. Trying to find bad guy. There's a bad guy I can hear him, but I can't see him. It's Jake with the raid. Thank you, buddy. Jake, once again, man, you're always too damn kind to me. Oh, found the guy. Found the dude. That's a bad guy, but Shake's a good guy. Shake, you would never spit acid blood at me, would you? Blood projectile corrosiveness. You would never. I mean, unless I really deserved it. Oh, I fucking dodged your ass. Get fucking wrecked, idiot. Shake would never. He would never spit a blood projectile at me. Got his ass. We're playing more of this cool game. I think you've heard me give the spiel about this game before. Getting further into Tormented Souls, if any of you have played this game before, you might recognize where we are. We're in the, like, maternity ward, delivery room area that we couldn't access before. But now we've gone through the kind of nightmare dimension. One using the WE-40 to open the door. The big, scary, rusty door. Thank you, Ogasa. Shouting out our boy. Also, Ogasa, welcome, bud. It's good to see you doing some more Silent Hill. Did you get another ending? I seem to recall that you were saying that there's, like... you got one ending last time, but now you're pursuing more endings. See if there's, like, other ways to, like, understand the story. Also, we have a date and a time, so it would seem. But if you wanted me to spit a blood acid projectile at you, Alex, you know me too well. Going further towards that second ending. By the way, Shake, you already know what it is. You already know what I'm going to ask. If there's any clips of yours, oh, big stretch that you want to share. Yeah. You ever just stretch and make a bunch of dumb noises? Like, oh! You ever just do that? Or are you normal? You're probably normal. Shake's probably a normal one. I open the thing. Do I get to press buttons? Get to press all the buttons, baby. The question is that, or the issue is that there's a lot of dates and times that are mentioned in this game. The question is going to be, what's the most likely one to be relevant in this situation? the one I immediately think of is the one for when the daughters were born, because that's like an important date that was mentioned early on. An important, like, not just date but time, like an exact time of day. Got a spear this time. Let's keep exploring. But if I had to guess, I'd be willing to bet that's probably it. Give our salvation. All this very ominous, well, maybe not ominous, but very, well, yeah, it is ominous. It's a little bit ominous. These detailed oil paintings. Door unlocked. Okay, so now we've gotten back to this part of this corridor. Right, because that door was up to this point off limits. Let's try that date. The exact date and time of the daughters being born. That's the best I can figure. It's almost too obvious. But I've been bamboozled before in this game by what felt like a too obvious solution turning out to be the case, and then other cases, what seemed wildly opaque and weird was the solution. So we'll see. We'll see. But in the meantime, Shaky, the Shaky of the Boxy, he's got a clippy for us. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. I appreciate that Silent Hill F appears to be a fairly long game, because I know of a couple of folks who are streaming it, and it seems like there's quite a lot to do in that game, and that's actually kind of nice. I've only played the first Silent Hill game, but it wasn't an overly long game. It didn't overstay its welcome, but it wasn't short either. But no, it's a good one. I like that one a lot, and I'm glad that they're doing more of them, because yeah, for the longest time it felt like Silent Hill was just kind of languishing. You know, we got the remake of 2. They're working on a remake of 1, I think. Of course, Silent Hill F just came out. I think they're working on another one as well, like some other like spin-off game. So Silent Hill fans are eating pretty good after years of starving, so it would seem. He's got big fucking monies. Holy shnikes.
6s and a stupid chest.
Kitty cat. Big monies.
Oh my god, whoa. Oh god, we're gonna...
Careful.
Whoa,
Careful.
There. I see... No, the cat's there. No,
What?
Please.
What'd you do wrong?
Let me buy the cat.
Wasn't that
Hold
the
on.
amount?
Please, I'm peeing. Don't do it. I want the jockey cat. I thought I had one more.
Oh, that's brutal. I thought you had it.
6s and a
Like, you have so much money. You have so much money. How much money do they want? Do they need?
Oh my god, whoa.
Oh, okay, that's why. Well, no, hold on. Debt is... Oh, 22. Okay, all right, never mind. never mind. That's on me, big dog. That's on me.
Oh god, we're gonna... Ooh, he's there. I see... No, the cat's there. No.
I'm wondering how much was that interest going to be? The interest might have been... The interest might have been... Well... The interest might have been enough, maybe.
Ooh, he's there. I see... No, the cat's there. No.
So you wanted to buy the cat, but you're out of... Well, no, you have 5 of them.
Please.
Would they not let you buy it? Oh, they don't let you buy it when it's about to die? That's brutal. Oh, that's brutal.
Let me buy the cat. Hold on. Please, I'm peeing. Don't do it. I want the jockey cat. I thought I had one more.
You wouldn't do this to a man with his pants down, would you?
6s.
Brutal. Damn. That's good to know that when the deadline is reached, no more purchases. Yeah, what if there's something that could maybe change the outcome? Unfortunate. Yeah, I was trying to go for that cat. Yeah, you're probably rolling for the cat to show up. Brutal, man. Brutal. Yeah, it was orders of magnitude. Yeah. At first I was like, well, maybe. Then I was like, oh, wait, never mind. Unfortunate. But it made for a good clip. It made for a good opportunity to try to pee on the toilet. Pee on the toilet, both. Can't do one without the other. Now, of course, like a lot of us, one of the first things I unlocked when I played that game was the jar of piss and the jar of poop. By peeing and pooping, respectfully. I don't know if there's other things you can do that involve peeing and pooping. Maybe you can, maybe there are, maybe there aren't. Maybe like it's one of those where doing a mundane activity like that somehow does alter the RNG in some way. Doesn't tell you how, but like one of those where you're interacting with the environment in some way, so there's like some stuff behind the scenes that give a shit, literally, about the poops you take, every poop you take, every piss you bake, every cake you bake, every step you take. Yeah, interesting stuff. I need to play more Clover Pit. That's a very good game. It's a very good game. Alias was playing Dead Finger. What was it? Dead something finger? Dead Finger something? What was it? It was by the same publisher as Glitch Banker. Dead Finger Dice, that's what it's called. He was playing some Dead Finger Dice the other day, and I was watching him play that one. It reminded me a little bit of Clover Pit. And it's the same publisher as Glitch Spanker. Incredible game, by the way, Shake. If you... I can't remember... I don't remember if I would have ever had a chance to tell you about Glitch Spanker. Incredible game. Incredible game. Alice was streaming it last week as well. And a very, very good game. Nothing like Clover Pit, but incredibly good. And very silly and very funny. Oh, that's right. You rated me when I was playing it, and I talked about how the guy's voice kind of sounded like Shake. Anyway, that game was also on my radar. Seems like the like very funny and weird like gambling roguelike games are starting to really pop off. Probably not entirely because of Balatro, but probably helped along by Balatro's success. Well, we're gonna get back to it. Thank you again, Shake, for that raid. I'm gonna double check to see in our... Actually, I guess I can just check here. I click the thingy. That's the time, and is there a date as well? Angels fell from heaven. Doesn't have the date, but it's like, we'll call that 12, what is that, 35? So at least set that as the date, as the time. 12:35. Whoops. 35. Down to the second. Here. Oh, I just noticed you can like... There are other like things I'm supposed to do over here, like bang this thing with a hammer. Yeah, was there a second? I mean, I guess you could probably like intuit that it's pretty much at the 12 mark there. So if it's anywhere, I suppose that's it. And then the date, it would probably say somewhere in William's diary. Birth certificate, that's encouraging. Pregnant again. I assume it's for the twins. Girl's 5th birthday. That was all good from here on out. Yeah, Maria's infected. The forests. Let's see. I bet this is it. Ria's back, right? Oh wait, hold on. Yeah. That was thinking about the stopwatch, right? The glass is cracked. The hands stopped. Started using the hour as their lucky number and uses it for everything, right? Emma was born. Okay. Now the question is, what's the date? Today is the happiest day, yes. Now, of course, up here it says 12/16/1994, but that's the present date. Caroline Walker, that's the protagonist's name. Okay, the date here. Here, yeah, if I just kind of squint a little bit. September 7th, 1971. September 7th, 1971. Let's try it. September 7th. A way to set a year, I suppose. I'm not so sure about the second hand. Huh. I just kind of assumed something would happen. Is there some other interaction point? Press the buttons, of course. It was 9-7, right? Double check. Oh, that's for Anna, not for Emma. Well, they're twins. They were probably born on the same day, at least. Yeah, the other one, the one for Emma is probably behind. The one for Emma, we know that exact time. Suggestion for the time? This is like the most, for me, that's the most obvious one. This one here. What else we got? Oil paintings have weapons. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. That would be interesting. We could go double check the oil paintings. That's a solid idea. Placement of these two statues seems to emphasize the twins. The twins' significance in some way. And the sword is glowing. Yeah, we could maybe we call that the small hand, or maybe the medium hand, but no, it's fairly small. And it's pointing at the. We'll say that's 3. We'll call that 3 o'clock. So we'll say regular sword at 3 o'clock. I'm gonna write this down. That's a solid suggestion. Solid suggestion, Athias. Let's try that. So we'll say regular sword at 3 o'clock. Like the other ones. This one's kind of pointed at like an angle. We'll call that, if it's the direction the sword is pointing, this one's, I think, shorter. So we'll call, I even said it was a short sword. We'll say short sword at, what do you think that is? We want to call that like either, we could call it 35. Well, no, it's not right. That'd be like 40, maybe? We'll call that at 40. Oh, except, well, yeah, at the, well, not 40. At the, like, 8? At the 8, maybe? That kind of angle. Actually, do I have a, like, I don't really have a clock in front of me. I wish I, like, had a clock. I guess I could, like, just look up an image of one. So I would rather kind of look at this while it's fresh in my head. But yeah, looking at a clock, I just kind of brought a picture of one. Yeah, I would say either 8 or 7, honestly. Especially because the painting itself is at an angle. I'll say it's an 8 or a 7. It's an 8 or a 7. Augustus, it's like 2 o'clock? Well, I mean, if it's the way the sword is pointing, that's kind of what I'm thinking. If it's pointing like that, like kind of downward angle, downward and diagonal, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I take that to mean, yeah, like it's pointing towards either the 8 or 7, or it could be pointing the opposite direction, up towards 1 or 2. Brandishing a weapon. The weapon is like pointed. Yeah. From the center of the painting. Which would mean, yeah, so you like the way that the hilt is pointed. I mean, that's a fair thing to consider because really, in both of these cases, it could be the opposite. In the case of this one, like, you know, I just assume the way the sword is pointing is like the direction the hand on the clock could be pointing. But yeah, it could be the hilt though, and if it were the hilt, it would be 9 instead of 3. Oh, could see either one. The center of the painting, because that's how you would read on a clock. Yeah, yeah. It's weird because the other one, it's like so high up. I don't think about it as reading it from a clock, but with this one, it is more like it's a little bit more centered in that way, or it would be centered. If like you were like to emblazon a clock, kind of over it, like a transparent clock being emblazoned over this. So could definitely see that as well. Look at the third one. The third one has like a spear, and it's super long. That one, of course, has to be the second hand. And right here, big honking spear. That one is pointing kind of downward, so we'll say that's at the 5, maybe 4, but I would say almost surely the 5. Yeah, we'll say long spear 5. Something can tell you which angel is which. I think it's the length of the sword. Zavata says, I promise the sword length is average. I think it's the length of the sword, the length of the weapon. Final painting that just says, Day of Our Salvation. Really all it says about that. But, yeah, I would say, generally speaking, it's probably safe to assume that this sword here... Now, granted, it's at like a slightly foreshortened angle. From the perspective of, you know, the viewer who is looking at the painting. But I would say, even when considering that, I think this one's a little bit longer. A little bit longer. So... And then it says, the day of our salvation. Would that be Christmas? Or Easter? Well, Easter rotates, I suppose. Christmas is usually pretty obvious. Let's do this part first. So, the regular sword, that'd be the hour hand. No, the short sword is the hour hand. Short sword would be the hour hand. So that'd be either an 8 or a 7. We'll start with 8. I was thinking 8-ish. The longer fella. The regular one would be, I suspect, a 3. Then the tall boy goes to a 5. We got that. I could see this being, an 8 or a 7. I think it's an 8. I feel pretty good about these. Pretty good. Like how on the clock it said Dual Effect. Dual Effect is the name of the developer. The Day of Our Salvation. Day of Our Salvation. They talk about Jesus. So I assume December 25th. Can I just hold the button down? I cannot hold the button down. I gotta do every individual click. Happy birthday, Jesus! Huh. Not what I was expecting. Alright, we can put that in the statue eyeball. Alright. It wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. I was wondering if it'd be a little bit more elaborate than that, but we got that shit. Get back up to the office then. Which means we're going back to the second floor. Back to the office means that we're heading into the office to get the eyeball placed. We saw that statue. There was a spot for it for sure. Of course, the loud fucking ghost Michelin Man demon. Loud as fuck, and usually you can just cycle the room. I wonder if they've removed that ability. If they realized... Do they realize the player, me, is just going to exploit that opportunity? Or that option? Was it 7 or 8? It was 8. I think I'd put it to 8. I think. I solved it and then immediately purged it from my memory banks. And just so I'm clear, the office is east side. And the day was December 25th, because it's the day of our salvation has come. And it showed a man coming. No, it didn't show that, but it did show Jesus being born. You cycle the room and everything works out. Everything twerks out. The office. Back to the orifice. All right. William, how you doing? You still dead? Still dead, yep. Felt like freshly dead too, still warm. Corpse still warm. Right, eyeball man. How's about this? I'm not gonna question how it gets in there. Unless it like goes in from the top like a fucking like a coin bank or something. It just kinda like grew from the inside. I was thinking maybe you have to use the WD-40 to squeeze it in there. And now we have buttons. Anything I can look at here? I think we're like almost done with, like, you know, in a certain area, a certain zone, another puzzle rears its strange, mysterious head. Let's start hitting some buttons and see what happens. Oh, we have to replicate the melody. We have to replicate the melody. Well, the good news is we don't have to go far. We don't have to go far for replicating the melody. Turn up a little bit on my end. I'm gonna apologize. I'm gonna try not to, like, spam this 1,000 times, but you might hear this 1,000 times. Oh, that. Bum, 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 bum. That's what I got out of that. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, there we go. Bum, bum, bum. Shit. Oh. Bum, bum, bum. It's bum, bum, bum. Alright, cool. So, it goes. Shit. There we go. Okay, so I only had to force it upon your ears a couple times. Opens up a secret passage. Secret passage with a bunch of bottles of bleach. What the fuck's that about? Alright, descending into madness. Now, I haven't saved in a minute, and I have a lot of save units, save uses, so I will go ahead and save. It's always scary venturing down into something you don't know what's awaiting you. Venturing down into something unfamiliar, unknown even. Let's head back to the sewing room and save real quick. Oh, and of course, the fucker is waiting for me. Alright. Actually, I realize I'm kind of taking the long way out. It'd be quicker for me to go out the other way. We got Van Rooker over on YouTube. What's up, buddy? He says, what console is this for? That's a good question. I'm playing this on Steam. I'm playing the PC version. I think this is on consoles. don't quote me on it. I'm almost positive this one is available on the Switch, and I think it's also available on probably PS4 and Xbox Series X. I don't know exactly. It's called Tormented Souls. It's a very good game. I'm liking it a lot. We're approaching the final act. I don't think we're beating it tonight because it's getting kind of late. Probably not beating it tonight, but we're definitely clicking along here. Yeah, for sure it's on Steam. For sure it's on... I want to say I saw it on the Switch eShop at one point. So it might be on the Switch. And generally, if it's on the Switch and it's a third-party game, like, it's probably on PlayStation and Xbox. I guess, when did the PS5... I guess it could be PS5 instead of PS4. This game came out in 2021. So it could be PS5. Xbox Series X. But it's called Tormented Souls. It's very good. I do recommend it. If you like old school inspired horror games, it's good. It's good. Oops. It's also tough. Some of the puzzles are a little bit tricky. But we got this shit. I thought I asked, do I have perfect pitch? No, definitely not. I definitely don't have perfect pitch. I used to... My story that I always tell people is that I used to be cool. I used to be cool. I'm washed up now. I'm a washed up musician. So in like middle school and high school and some of college, I studied the cello pretty seriously. Played for about 8 or 9 years. This fucking dude played for about 8 or 9 years. Took it real seriously. Played in like youth symphonies and shit like that. Went to state, you know, took it pretty seriously. But to be honest, I was never great at it. I was good, but I was never great. And I liked it, but I didn't love it. And to be a musician, you either need natural talent, from what I've observed, you either need natural talent or a drive, like a burning fire in your belly to like stay at it. And to be honest, I kind of had neither. So after I graduated college, or graduated high school, it was like I did a very small amount with it afterwards, but then it was like, you know, kind of let those skills atrophy. I stopped taking lessons and haven't really kept up with it. I still have my instrument. Still have my cello, and I like to think that, you know, I've maintained some of the skills that, you know, you pick up from just being musically inclined for that long. But yeah, I can't. It'd be disingenuous to say I'm a musician because, like I said, if it'd be one thing if it had been a couple years, but it's been like 15. It's been like 15, probably closer to 20 years at this point. So it's been a minute. I'm a little long in the tooth. So thanks to here's a message from Anna, the girl we rescued. She hid the best she could. Grandfather of the Sidman found her. Took them to the sewers. Onto the crypt. Wouldn't be able to escape no matter how much I cried and begged, he said. Closed the door and left. Didn't notice the lighter and flashlight I grabbed from the mansion. That is convenient. Van Ruku says we're waiting for Eternal Darkness on the virtual console. That'd be such a delightful Halloween surprise. I wouldn't hold my breath, but that would be fucking dope, Van Ruker. Van Ruker, you may or may not know, Eternal Darkness is one of my favorites. That's my favorite horror game. My favorite horror game of all time. So yeah, that's a good one for sure. And that's a raid. Who would dare? Here, I've got a couple windows in the way. Got windows blocking my face. Blocking my face so I can't see this handsome and or gorgeous individual named Nirwin. Or Niamwin, rather. Thank you, Niamwin, for that raid. Thank you, my friend. That's very nice of you. We're playing Tormented Souls. We're having a great old time. It's my first time playing through this game. And we are, I would say, probably approaching the final act. We're definitely not, like, beating this tonight because it's getting kind of late. Probably go for another half an hour or so. But we're clicking along. We're clicking along at a good pace. We're knocking stuff out. We're taking care of business. And we're solving puzzles. We're feeling good. We're feeling good. Thai says, play some instruments, and do you have some interest in playing the cello? It's a good instrument. It's a good instrument. It's a bit unwieldy, you know, fitting into cars was a pain in the ass back when I was younger. But it has a very pleasant tone. I like it a lot. And I'll say this much, somebody learning the cello versus learning the violin gets a little screechy when, like, someone's learning it and someone doesn't, like, know all the techniques. At least with the cello, when there's, like, scratchy notes, it's not quite as like, ear piercing. So there's at least that for those for yourself and for those around you. And Niamwen, thank you. Thank you very much for that raid. That's very sweet of you. Apologies if I'm butchering your screen name's pronunciation. But Niamwen, I appreciate you, and thank you for that raid. I see you're playing some Alien Isolation, a fellow horror enjoyer, of course. I know, right? Playing a horror game this late in October, can't imagine anybody doing that, right? No one else is doing that, right? We're the only two people. We're the only two people playing horror games right now. And Shake rated us as well. Thank you, goes by Neem. Grim, if I had to guess, Grim, did you and or your plump little booty have something to do with this? Because as we all know, Grim has a plump, voluptuous, juicy booty, I assume. I've never seen him, I've never met him, but I've heard his voice, and you can hear the voluptuousness in his voice when he speaks. So, you know, you can just tell. He's got that, not big dick energy, voluptuous booty energy. VBE. Anyway, Neem, thank you for that raid. Whenever somebody raids me, especially when it's for the first time, I like to ask if there's any clips of yours you would like to share with us. Because you have done me a solid, you raided me, and what do I do to you and your poor viewers? I subject you to talking about Grim's beautiful, luscious ass, which is weird. So I'm like, weird, the first thing you get from me is me being fucking weird. So, because you subjected your community to my nonsense, the least I can do is give the folks that are already here a chance to see what you're all about. So if there was any clips of yours, any fun moments from a recent stream or a not so recent stream, I'm not picky, but yeah, if there's anything yours you want to share, doesn't have to be from tonight, could have been from last week, a month ago, 300 years ago. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to be picky. If it's a Twitch clip or a YouTube short or a TikTok video, something short and sweet, we could all watch it together. I'll put it up on the big screen. We'll all watch it together. So it's something I make available to anybody whenever they raid, and you have the floor if you want it. But thank you. That's very generous of you. Aim says I'm worth to raid. Well, that's very sweet of you. Thank you to Grim. Thank you to Grim for fooling poor Neem. Neem was probably like, let's raid someone cool, and Grim's like, yeah, we're gonna raid someone cool, all right, wink. And now Neem's probably thinking this fucking short guy is so weird. I am short. That's why I'm Super Hobbit. Hence the screen name. So thank you, Neem. Thank you, Grim, for manipulating poor innocent Neem into raiding me. Neem, I apologize. You had to be subjected to my ass, but thank you. I appreciate you both. Neem says I have to. Grim says I had to get your ass again. Has to get with Alex again. Well, I'm flattered. I'm flattered that my ass was worthy of the double dip. This game is a survival horror kind of game. So if you ever played original Resident Evil 1 or 2 or original Silent Hill 1 or 2, this game very much borrows heavily from those games, right down to the puzzles being kind of tricky and to the combat being a little bit clunky and the voice acting being of questionable fidelity. It's all fun. It's a very well-made game. The puzzles are tricky for sure. There's some head scratches for sure. And we just found a lore drop from one of the two girls we're trying to understand their fates. There's Anna and Emma, two twins whose grandfather, I think there was their maternal grandfather, abducted them and was trying to like subject them into some kind of experiment, some kind of ritual to like summon some terrible demon thing. It's kind of unclear what exactly they were going for. But we know that one of the daughters escaped, at least temporarily, and the other one is presumed to have died. But it's one of those where it's like, we didn't see a body, so we don't know exactly. So here's the newest entry we just read. Because also, there was like a sort of pseudo time travel thing that happened where we actually met Anna. We found her in the cell. We helped her escape. However, her grandfather found her again. However, when he locked her up, she found a flashlight and a lighter. And she found a bedroom. She said there's a filthy bed, electricity, and even a functioning television. There's food and a pipe that provides drinking water. It doesn't smell great. The student men who struck my mother before she freed us. The smell was terrible. Maybe smells in the sewers, maybe? 7 years have passed my last entry. The television only offers local channels. This is the one thing that's kept me sane. Blisters are appearing on my skin. Oh, the symptoms. Right. The burning sensation. Yeah, I remember that one. Appetite diminishes. The vomiting gets worse. Something's taken over me, she says. The Sounds of clinking metal from behind the door that leads to the underground temple. Because, yeah, we know her mom got struck with some kind of affliction. Guess something happened with her as well. I guess, goddamn. I guess. Some amnesia. Oh, yeah. Yeah, amnesia is definitely a big one when it comes to, like, a memorable horror game for sure. For sure. Yeah, and of course, Alien Isolation, like, that's a fucking nutsack twister right there. Like, that game is brutal. I've never actually attempted to play it myself. I've watched a number of streamer friends attempts to play it. Oh, fuck, there's that guy. It seems... I know it's a great game, no question, but it just looks fucking wild and brutal. Ouch. How'd you reach me? What a cheater. I'll run the fuck away, bravely. Still coming at me? You know what? I think I'll eventually drop up with enough shots. We do have, like, bigger firepower weapons. Get bonked, you idiot. So sure enough, we're seeing multiple of those big guys. For a while there, I wondered if it was just the one guy and we had resurrected him. And he was, like, only found in the, like, the nightmare zone. But now we've confirmed we're seeing more of that enemy elsewhere. More of that enemy elsewhere for sure. I can mess with here. I saw the lights kind of blinking in the distance or guiding us in the distance. But thank you again, Neem. And like I said, if you have any clips you want to share, Neem, it's one of my favorite ways to express gratitude whenever somebody rates, because then, you know, you get to share your content with us and we get to see what kind of stuff you're about. Also, I selfishly get to enjoy, like, a fun clip. It's like 99 times out of 100, whenever somebody raids and they share something with us, it's like I just like seeing what, like, cool things other streamers get to do in their streams. I like watching streams, right? Like, of course I'm a streamer. I do this myself, but I also like watching other folks. It's selfishly enjoyable for me. So you might think, oh, Alex is being so nice, offering, you know, some cross-pollination. I do encourage self-promotion, but also there's a selfish, a shamefully selfish aspect of it too. So this was the paternal grandfather, because the maternal grandfather, that guy's an evil fucko. This guy is the nice one. Bertram, I think is his name. The truth came to me through this book and from the hand of the creator. Stand inside the sacred temple. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, well, no, Noah was the evil one, right? I think Noah's the evil one. Rebirth of the Pollux sect. Right, this cult that he's trying to... Yeah, maybe they're both evil? I don't know. It's possible that Bertrand is their great-grandfather. Maybe that's Noah's dad. And maybe Noah... Oh, shit. Maybe I'm getting my wires crossed. Maybe I'm getting my wires crossed. And the girls... Father, yeah, I thought, yeah, she doesn't call him by his name. Or was it William's diary? Grandfather Noah, yeah. Yeah, Noah was the evil one. For sure. Trying to abduct them and shit. Maybe they're both fucked. Maybe both grandfathers are compromised. Maybe grandpas in this game just cannot fucking chill. No grandpa chill. Oh, the ID card. I bet we need this for the end, don't we? Bertram Wildberger. Probably Wildberger. Shouting, swearing, getting lost and dying mostly. I don't know anything about that. I would never die embarrassingly. I would never die embarrassingly in a game like this, or horror games, or just in general, or games in general. And I definitely don't know anything about being loud and making dumb noises. I would never. Couldn't be me. What are some other things you plan on streaming, Neem? Or even better, if there was stuff you were planning on streaming on Friday, since Friday is, of course, National Spooky Time Day. Also, it's not lost on me that in the catacombs of this area is a goddamn electric chair, and that the ID card was placed on the electric chair. I wonder if it's implied that Bertram got taken out. He's no longer of this world, of this earth. Hard to say. I mean, that note seemed to imply that he's gonna be doing, we're gonna want to do what Noah wants to, because I think they both had the same goal. Maybe they were competing over who gets to be the savior of this cult. On the other side, so it can't proceed there. Okay. Well, let's think about this. We have... Let's go back to the basement. Because I think that ID card is huge. I think that's... Let me think about this. We have the ID card. And we have the little... the circular dial device. We reset the room to make sure that demon doesn't continue to chase us. There was a third thing that the basement entry needs to get in there. To get all up in that shit. And I'm gonna look at the shape and I'm gonna see if I recognize it. Because there was something I saw a while ago. Reminded me of that shape. I'm gonna take a quick gander at it, but I was kind of thinking if I could get that IT card, it's gonna be huge for us. So it was this one right here. Okay, so the obvious thing, key dial. I probably have to examine it because you can like fuck with the dials or the buttons. So it's got the notch on the bottom. So really it'll just be this mirrored. In fact, I'm just going to do this easier for myself and grab a screenshot with the ye old snippage tool. Snip tool. No, I don't mean the vasectomy tool. Don't mean the vasectomy tool, but the snip tool. Windows 11 snipping tool. And you can all watch me do it. You can all watch me. If you like to watch. If you like to watch, you came to the right place. A lot of clutter. Yeah, a lot of clutter. Well, it's an abandoned hospital. Well, it's an abandoned mansion that was used as a makeshift hospital. Because in the story, the lore, the original hospital burned to the ground. And it was like a small-ish town. They were like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? And this extremely wealthy dude was like, hey, I've got a mansion. I've got a bunch of empty rooms that I'm not using. You can we'll just put a bunch of hospital stuff in here. And I think it became more than temporary. I think it languished for a long time. That's the lore there. Let's examine. Let's examine and bring this guy up. Although I guess that's the thing. I can't have it up on this screen and be clicking at the same time. So all right. So I guess I will just kind of do this on my own. A lot of times I like to show my work. I like to think it's more interactive that way if I'm showing my work. Also, you know, I have a minor in math, and you all remember math class. Let me just make sure to show your work in math class, right? So try to show how I arrive at my salutations, at my solutions. All right, so if this is to be like a mirror image, basically, where you turn it over and plug it back in. Actually, no, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not a mirror image at all. Maybe just have it line up. Wait, hold on. Oh, I think that answers my question. Can we have this one be at 6 o'clock? No. So it is going to be mirrored. That's what I assumed. It doesn't necessarily need to be, but that does make more sense. Goes like that. Oh, no, actually. Like that. This one... Actually, I think that one's good as it is. Plug her in. It's one. The ID card. You know, because we probably won't get it back. You know, I'm gonna make a couple notes. Because I don't think we're getting this one back either. And I don't think this game would give me like a situation with a puzzle that requires any of these things. After the fact, like, you know, after you've crossed the broken bridge. But maybe there's like a bonus thing later. Hard to say. So we'll say Bertram will... I'm just making a note on my notepad here. Notepad.exe. Classic. Director. Date of birth. 3/6/2019. 1946. Gosh, imagine being born in March. Ugh, pretty cringe, am I right? ID number is 56824 525A1 barbecue sauce, or it's a steak sauce rather. 5A1, alrighty. And for fucks and giggles, I'll write down that added little kind of generated code as well. 1516 WE156R1E6. Alright, so we're all that done. Will it be worth a damn? Probably not, honestly. Probably not, but we've got it in case it ever comes up. In case there's some super secret thing. Unlock a badass weapon, unlock some cool thing near the end. Did you happen to write down that guy's ID number? You know, those kinds of things. I could see a game like this maybe doing something like that. Got the code written down there. Done with the barcode. I probably not worry about the barcode. That's probably too much. I probably already have more than I need. Okay. So, yeah, so let's go ahead and stick it in. Tuck it in. And sure enough, yeah, you can't extract it. So this last one. Was it this guy? Was it the mold? That's where I've seen it. You can open it up. Only shooting stars break the mold. We need to fill something. Put something in the mold. Have I seen water? We've seen like sewage. I would almost wonder like some kind of metal, some kind of like molten ore, because that's what seems to be obvious. Is yeah, you pour like this. That's what this would be for. You pour like some kind of molten metal ore. Oh, maybe ore is not the right word, but like some kind of like molten metal, basically. Then it cools, and then it forms this, yeah, medallion-shaped mold. But there hasn't really been anything that is talked about or like made mention of, yeah, like molten metal or clay. Oh, clay molten. Yeah, let's check the... Am I not considering? Oh, sand. Delicious. I guess, like, impacted sand could maybe work, yeah. Well, let's look at this. It's blood. There's iron in it. Nah, I'll try it. Oh! What the fuck? Okay. Filled with blood. If I open it up, it's gonna spill out. Huh. Not... You're right. There's the freezer. The freezer. You're right. Let's do that. That's fucking weird. But it might just work. It might just work. Which side? That'd be the kitchen area. On the west side. My bags, I'm heading west. Freeze it. So, yeah, I was thinking like, heat it. Again, like, I'm still in my mind, like, I'm stuck on, like, molten metal. Liquid hot magma, but freeze it. That's fucking wild enough, it might just work. Ah, fucking demon lady. At least I think it's a lady. Whatever the demon is, whatever the ghost lady is, they're annoying. Freezing cold. This whole time, I was thinking we were gonna get something that would melt this ice, but why would you? There's nothing here. Okay, but a problem. How long does it have to sit? Oh, the time travel. We got to see this version of the kitchen. Because it's still... Yeah, I still can't open it. let's go through. It was the Jesus painting. Yeah, let's go. All right, let's go upstairs. Oh, not Jesus painting, but Jesus, meeting room entry point. There's broken Jesus. This is when Jesus was fully formed and happy, and healthy. So it'd be second floor, on the east side. Yeah, dude. Atheist, Atheist. I think that's exactly what it is. I think you're exactly correct, because yeah, this is why. This is one of the uses for the Jesus VHS, is it sends us back in time, and one of the areas we were able to explore was that kitchen area. Damn, son. Guys with the big brain. I bet that's exactly it. Pop it in. We leave it, and then we come back. So this is like a few days before the events of the main game. Like 4 or 5 days. And now, go back to the kitchen area. I bet that will do it. The final piece to entering into the main part of the basement. I think that's a huge step forward, because the main part of the basement has been one of 2 areas that we've seen from afar. But yeah, we've seen from afar, but like had like no way to get in, and not a lot of indications on what is back there. Now we have eventually found like other ways to access parts of the basement, but that's such like an ominous and very seemingly significant part of the basement with like the triple locking mechanism. Like there's something really important sitting there. There it is. Frozen blood. I guess it would work in real life. I guess this would work. Now, quick, before it thaws, right? The longer it sits in our pocket, the more it's exposed to our body heat, the quicker it's gonna thaw out. But yeah, this has been one of 2 things that I assumed was gonna be fairly significant in some way. It's gonna be pretty huge in some way. The other thing that was gonna be important, or that will be important, and I suspect the basement will eventually lead us to acquiring, is this honking thing. So like very ominous and scary and important looking doors. This is another one. Another big, important, scary looking door. It seems like it leads to the main entrance. Or like that is the main entrance. Like that's how you get the fuck out of here. And maybe that's the idea, is that's how we'll eventually escape. In the meantime, yeah, let's plug this thing in, and I bet it's gonna twerk. All fine and dandy like. Question is, what remains? Bing! But the achievement for unlocking the door to the hall stairs. Stairs, you say? Well, how's about this? It's getting pretty late. Let's explore this place proper. Of the next opportunity, on the next date, the next Tormented Souls stream. How's that sound? I would love to keep going. I do have to get up extra early for work tomorrow morning. Normally I have to get up at like a normal time, but I have to get up extra early because tomorrow's my in-office day. I primarily work from home, but 1 day a week I have to go to the office, and usually it's Thursdays. I'll take that as my cue. This one, is this the studio? Yeah. Got a save point in here. Oh, different studio? No, I was right the first time. Yeah, this is it. A note. Making a note here. Huge success. Good progress tonight. Good progress. Give over this one here. Staggering the saves as you do. Do I get a voiceover? No voiceover this time. Yeah, the voiceovers only happen sometimes. Which means I guess we haven't cleared another chapter in the biblical sense of the word. Still got a shotgun to reload. We have no more nails in reserve, but a lot of shotgun shells, and we got the zappy boys with the electric lance, which is good. Decent bit of healing too, but no medical kits, unfortunately. All right, well, progress, baby, progress. We're getting there. We are getting there. Yeah, I'd love to keep going with this, but I should wrap it up because it's getting late. It's getting late, but this was good. Like I said, good progress. Thank you to Athalias and to Chuck and Elgaso. A number of folks kind of gave some suggestions. Meerkat and Grim, a couple folks were, you know, kind of feeding me ideas with some of the trickier puzzles. Oh, big stretch. Yeah, big stretches. I'm like, you ever do that with an animal, like a dog or a cat, when they do they're like, they like stretch out their leggies, and you're watching a cute animal be cute and do a big stretch. How do you not say out loud, oh, big stretch? I do that every time. Big stretch. But no, this is good. We'll continue this for sure, because I suspect we're circling the toilet. We're circling the drain. We're like starting to approach the final act of this game, and it's been an interesting experience. I'm really curious to beat it, see how it ends, and then to begin the second game, for which we have a review key. Which is part of why I've kind of been fast tracking this one. This is good. This is good stuff. As for future streams, so I should be able to stream tomorrow. I think I might actually not stream this game tomorrow. I might stream 33 what's it called? Is it 33 Immortals? Is that the name of the game? I have a review key for that one. And I need to stream it before... Yeah, 33 Immortals. I need to stream it before the end of the month. And I'm not sure I'll be able to stream Friday. The thing is, of course, Friday's Halloween. And I would love to stream Friday. The only downside is, of course, Grace and I are handing out Halloween candy that night. Because we live in a house, you know, we get trick-or-treaters, which is great. It's fun, and I do enjoy it. And it probably won't go crazy late, so I might be able to squeeze in a stream. We'll kind of see how late it goes. Just kind of how we're feeling. But yeah, I'll be handing out Halloween candy, hanging out with Grace. We'll probably watch like a movie or two, just kind of hang out. So yeah, so Friday, no guaranteed stream. Tomorrow, probably a stream, probably. Which means Saturday would be the most likely culprit for finishing, well, maybe I shouldn't get too presumptuous, but continuing and possibly finishing Tormented Souls 1. So yeah, Saturday will be the next Tormented Souls stream, and then Sunday, of course, more co-op shenanigans with the boys, with Alias and Kraft and Shake. We, of course, still have Fly Night to finish. We have a couple of the demos potentially to try. I, of course, will continue to advocate for EDF, Earth Defense Force, because I think everybody would enjoy it. I want to say Shake has already played one of the EDF games. I don't know if Alias and Krath have, and I think everybody would have fun with it. So we'll see. Yeah, that is the plan, though, my friends. Also, Saturday into Sunday, I believe, is daylight savings. I think. I'll have to double check that. But daylight savings does approacheth. Dost thou approach? But in the meantime, guys and gals, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you again to Neemwin and to Shake and to Game Fox and to Jimmy for the raids. 4 raids, and the last 3 of which were all like in like about an hour, like maybe an hour and some change, separated from each other. So lots of very generous raids coming in hot from lots of nice folks. Including Neem, who raided me for the first time, and that was really nice of them. Neem, I'm looking forward to checking out your stream, seeing what kind of fun hijinks you get up to, especially if you have some more fun stuff in the spooky season we're in right now. If there's any like fun Halloween shenanigans you might get up to, or stuff over the weekend maybe. Is live right now. Last couple times we've raided somebody in the Tormented Souls directory. Oh shit, Brotato is playing this game. We could raid Brotato. I haven't raided him in a long time. Living Dead Dudes. Living Dead Dudes is the guy we raided last night. And he was playing this game. And he was the one where when I was lurking, I just kind of happened to notice that he saw what I neglected to notice on the data disk, the equation on the opposite side of it. So we're gonna raid Brotato. Brotato Jin is the screen name. He's actually got quite a bit of viewers, but like, I might as well. I haven't raided this guy in a long time. He's always really cool. He's a funny dude. He's got a cool potato VTube kind of setup. It's more of a webcam filter than a VTube setup, and that will probably make more sense when you see his stuff. But there is my socials page. It has all of my links, every link you could ever imagine that is Super Hobbit themed in some way, in some strange, messed up way. All of my clips can be found there. all my content can be found there. All my links. All of my links to other platforms. So I do multi-stream, by the way. I multi-stream to YouTube and to Facebook and to Trovo and a couple of places, but of course Twitch is the main one, hence the hoodie. Gotta support the goods, right? All those links can be found on the Linktree page. I, of course, have Instagram and TikTok and Blue Sky and Twitter and Facebook, all that shit. Social media places. I try to post whenever I go live. Try to have somewhat of a regular presence in all these places if I can help it. And then my Linktree page has a link to my Discord server. It does have a link to my Discord server. So if you would like to join the Discord server, it's the best way to keep up with myself and others inside the community outside of streams. We do giveaways every so often. In the Discord server. Probably no giveaways this weekend. I do giveaways usually on Fridays. So probably nothing this weekend. Probably nothing this Friday. But probably something next Friday if I had to guess. And yeah, that pretty much is the whole spiel. There are optional notifications you can sign up for. I very rarely do at everyone or at here. But if you would like notifications for when I go live or notifications for when a new giveaway is open to be joined, a new raffle that is, those notifications are available to you if you so choose, those channel roles, but they are not on by default. So that is a thing you can opt into if you so choose. Otherwise, my friends, raiding into Brotato Jin. Haven't raided him in a while. Like I said, he's got a pretty good amount of viewers. I don't usually like to raid somebody when they've got quite so many folks. More fun usually to raid when someone's a little bit closer to my view count, but I did a quick check. There weren't a ton of other people streaming this games category, so it's like we'll keep it going. We'll keep the Tormented Souls party going, and he is a cool guy. I think you'll like him. He's an entertaining fella, and I'll see you guys around. Like I said, should be back tomorrow with some 33 Immortals action. Maybe a stream Friday. If I'm able to stream Friday, we'll do more Tormented Souls, but I would say the most likely case will be a stream on Saturday where we continue this game, maybe even complete it. If you can believe it, maybe even finish this game. Looking at Steam real quick, I can tell you I'm sitting at a hot... Oh yeah, sitting at a hot 19 hours. 19 hours in this game, so I would suspect another session or two will do it. Y'all have a good one. Thank you again for hanging out with us, friends. Gonna go right into Brotato Jin. I'll see you guys there. Good night, everybody. And once again, shoutouts to Neem and Shake and GameFox and Jamie for those raids. Thank you guys and gals. Appreciate you.
To make those rainbows in my mind when I think of you.